Namaste. On behalf of Project Self, United Consciousness, I, Dr. Vikrant Singh Tomar, welcome all of you in this global celebration of United Consciousness, International Week of Peace. UNESCO in its constitution writes that war begins in the mind of the man. And that's why even the constructs and defenses of peace also needs to be built in the mind of the man. Peace is our birthright. Three kinds of peace. My peace with myself. Peace within me. Second, peace with the people around me. And third, peace on the planet, in the world in general. But due to limited identities, it appears that peace on the planet is under great threat. Limited identities of fundamentalism of religion, intolerant thoughts, wealth divide, caste divide, divide on the basis of region, fanatic nationalism, status, color of skin, racism, casteism, divide on the basis of species, human beings consider themselves owner of all the species. Divide on the basis of gender, sex orientation, habitat even. Human beings consider themselves owner of the whole planet and leads to global warming. When this divide, because of these divides, peace which should naturally flow has to be established by forces of peacekeeping. And that's why 25 years ago in United Nations General Assembly, we all as a planet adopted a resolution for culture of peace. And today, we are also celebrating 76th year of Declaration of Human Rights for the people on the planet, where dignity, equality and justice is upheld. But it seems that we didn't improve our progress enough in that. We are seriously off track on Agenda 2030 we set for ourselves. 1 in 8 people globally is still suffering from mental disorder. Suicide is being the second leading cause of death among youth today. But still, global defense budget is twice of the global health budget. International disarmament expenditure is only 0.039% of the annual military expenditure in 2013. So United Nations alone can't do it. And that is why United Consciousness celebrates this United Nations International Day of Peace, which is a sincere attempt to raise the consciousness of the planet. Which could not be achieved by the stroke of pen or by the forces or by the resolutions can be achieved by the resolution of mankind, by rising consciousness of all. It is rising consciousness that before taking any action, I will ask 3 questions from myself. Question number 1, whether by this action will lead to uphold and sustain peace within me. Second, whether this action which I am taking will improve or sustain my peace with the people around. And third, whether the action I am taking will uphold or sustain the peace on the planet. Because peace is not only absence of conflict. At individual level, peace is the presence of the feeling of joy, serenity, dignity, hope, freedom in me. With other people, peace stands for joyful interpersonal relationship, based on love and equality, where I can see me in you, you in me, and us in all. Peace on the planet is also celebrating oneness and this diversity beyond limited divides. So every action which we take should end with disseminating more peace on the planet. In Sanskrit, peace is called Shanti. So peace within myself, peace with others, and peace in the world also. United Consciousness International Week of Peace celebration is one of the world's biggest celebration of United Nations International Day of Peace. The celebration begins on 14th of September, and this celebration will continue till 22nd of September with a hope that even if this event is over, the celebration of peace and happiness will continue resonating in everybody's life on the planet. In this program, life coaches, spiritual masters, academicians, public representatives, public servants, scientists, artists, bureaucrats, and all statesmen of repute are coming from different parts of the world, from all 6 continents of the world, because we stand together for a peaceful world. Dear friends, let's join hands together in saying, before we do anything and after we do anything, invoking the higher within and saying, Om Shanti, may there be peace within me. Om Shanti, may there be peace around me. Om Shanti, may there be peace on the planet, in the world. On behalf of Project Self, European Yoga Federation, Yoga Australia, Yoga Vidya Spiritual Council in Africa, AYT, and other important sister organizations of United Consciousness, I welcome all of you to join the celebration for the joy of life. Namaste.
Welcome to United Consciousness, where one consciousness, one being, is more than just a belief. It's a movement, a global initiative that unites us all in the pursuit of peace, spiritual wisdom, and universal happiness. It's a global mission that's touching life across continents. If you have ever felt the need for connection, spiritual guidance, or just a sense of belonging, you are in the right place. Welcome to United Consciousness. United Consciousness is not just an organization. It's a living, breathing community dedicated to enhance the holistic well-being of over 3 lakh individuals worldwide. Our mission is simple yet profound. One consciousness, one being. We believe that by connecting with our higher selves and each other, we can live lives filled with purpose, meaning, and fulfillment. Together, we are building a global community that shares this vision, helping each other unlock our full potential. Our logo says it all. The lotus symbolizes enlightenment, peace, and infinite universal consciousness. The petals represent all beings in the universe, interconnected and overlapping, signifying our togetherness. And that white essence in the center, it's the one source from which all beings originated. Every detail carries meaning right down to the 14 petals, which reminds us to transcend our limited identities. And speaking of transcendenting identities, our vision aligns perfectly with the global movement of Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. The world is one family. With the presence in over 100 countries, our reach is global. We are not just spreading a message, we are creating a cohesive network of individuals and organizations working together to eliminate limited identities and promote peace and happiness across the planet. But what does joining United Consciousness means to you? It means gaining access to tools and resources that will help you build mental resilience, overcome stress, depression, and anxiety, and elevate your spiritual journey. And that's just the beginning. Our live question and answer sessions with the world-renowned speakers provide you with the opportunity to get all your life questions answered, whether you are seeking spiritual upliftment, emotional intelligence, or simply a community that stands and supports you. United Consciousness is here to help you thrive in this complex world. So why wait? Join us on this transformative journey. Let's create a world where peace and happiness are not just a distant ideals, but a tangible reality we can all experience here and now. United consciousness, one being. Together, we can make the difference. Let's give a warm welcome to our next guest, Ambassador Rajkumar Shrivastava. He is a career diplomat who joined the Indian Foreign Services in 1997. Recently, Mr. Rajkumar Shrivastava has joined as Dean of Sushma Swaraj Institute of Foreign Service. He holds a civil engineering degree from the prestigious Indian Institute of Technology, Kanpur. He has pursued further studies in structural engineering and earthquake sciences. Mr. Srivastava has served in Indian embassies in Madrid, Yangon, Vienna, Brasilia, and Tokyo. While at headquarters in Delhi, he has worked in Foreign Services Institute America's US and Canada Division and Gulf Division. In his last assignment in Delhi during 2015-17, he was on deputation as a Joint Secretary to National Security Council Secretariat, Government of India, looking after the external security. Apart from Hindi, English, Mr. Srivastava speaks fluently Spanish and Portuguese. He takes a special interest in emerging technologies and digital domain. He likes to play bridge, chess, cricket, golf, and snooker. He plays guitar with interest in music. So, ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together to welcome Ambassador Mr. Rajkumar Srivastava.
Namaste, sir. Most welcome. On this platform of United Consciousness, we welcome you, sir. And whole world, people from different continents and more than 100 countries have contributed in this program. We all are eager to listen from you about governance inspired by ancient wisdom, balancing power with compassion and wisdom. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you, Vikranji. It's a pleasure to join you. We met in Zagreb a few months back, and when you proposed this, I took it as an opportunity for me to connect with the United Consciousness, because what you're doing is actually very important in all the time, but especially in today's world where there are more what you call separation, and this feeling of unity is getting missed. Coming from ancient wisdom, I think we are fortunate that we have been born in India, which is connected with ancient knowledge of Vedas. When I look back and see what the treasure that we have, it's just even going through that will suffice the purpose of human life. And that's what is applicable in every field of action that we are involved in. When I look at what is the purpose of human life. And I think that's very beautifully explained in our Vedas that the only purpose is to discover yourself to such a deep level that there is no difference between self and the ultimate reality. And that's why this concept of Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, which we have now made as the core principle of our foreign policy, is helping India getting that world stage attention where we are finding solutions or we are proposing solutions which are acceptable to all parties. And that is how the global governance should be done, where we learn from our past and we realize that ultimately everything is united. And that's why this concept of united consciousness is very, very important for more people to understand it. More people understand that life is very blissful. The whole reason that we are human being, that itself is a kind of thing to celebrate. The problems that we have are very materialistic in nature, but at the more spiritual reality, we are all blessed to be a human being. Uh, you have given me the topic of governance inspired by the wisdom, ancient wisdom, and then applying balancing power with compassion and wisdom. I think first concept that I learned through this journey of last 27 years in the government, uh, and it's every day is a learning. So every day is better than the past, and that's why I'm saying it that knowledge acquisition is very important. But we need to know that intellect is not the end in itself. Intellect is the knowledge that you get from the practical life or from your surroundings. But then you have to go deeper and understand the power of intuition. Intellect with intuition is the, in real sense, the goal of human life, where you get a feel of it, where you get a sense of it. There's something called sixth senses, where five senses that you get as the animal instinct, you have to grow beyond it. And how do you do it? So, our ancient wisdom in the Patanjali's Yoga Sutra is clearly explaining that you do yoga not as an end in itself. There is a larger objective beyond what you do in your mental and physical exercises. You go to that level where you start getting that sixth sense, where you can predict what is going to happen in a very subtle way. And that knowledge, when you have your governance or your whatever you are doing, becomes much more fruitful, not only to yourself, but to the society. And there I would like to make a distinction. The concept of Vasudha Kutumbakam is such that compassion comes naturally. Compassion comes naturally because there is no distinction between self and others. It's actually the extension. And that's where I think it is important to get that idea that the boundary of this body is only a physical boundary. You have to transcend that by understanding that everything is connected. I give you an example of very beautifully explained by one of the Vedantic guru, coming from Vedantic wisdom, that assume that the whole world around you is like a water, like an ocean, and you are like a milk. And when you mix the milk with water, everything becomes one, and it's very indistinguishable. Where is the milk? Same thing happens in life that when we get into this materialistic world without understanding that everything is illusion, we get lost. The milk get lost in the water of the ocean. But imagine if you can convert this milk that you have inside you into the curd and then churn it to make it into butter. And that butter, when it is mixed with the water, you remain the butter. That is the purpose of human life. Can we discover our inner self, convert ourselves into butter, and then mix with this illusion with the sense of detachment, but yet knowing that we are empowered within? That empowerment is very important in governance, where you do the service, realizing you are not doing any service to anybody else, but you are doing it to yourself. And At the time when you are doing that service, you are detached. There is no sense of ego. There is no sense of I, and there is only a sense of positive energy. The energy that flows from inside comes out, and you manifest your goals like a cakewalk. Outcomes come to you. You don't rush to outcomes. You just enjoy the process. All this wisdom comes very, very cleanly from our Vedas, from our different Shastras. Beauty of Indian ancient wisdom is that it is not only the biggest scriptures, which is difficult to understand for normal human being. They have been also categorized into different themes. For example, I talked about Patanjali's Yoga Sutra. When you talk about linguistic, Panini's Ashtadhyayi is a is a treatise for any linguist to understand how the language is created at the first place and how languages can actually be the force of nature because they are coming naturally. We talk about Natya Shastra. Whatever we see in Indian classical dance and music was already codified thousands of years back. Arth Shastra. And since we are talking about governance, let me talk about Arth Shastra. Chanakya's Arth Shastra is something which all of us who are in the governance, who are in the positions where we can make differences to the institutions, we need to understand it, what is written in Arth Shastra. And one very important thing about people who are in the position of power, they must understand that they should behave like Raj Rishi. He has explained 15 qualities of Raj Rishi in Arthashastra. All of them can be categorized into three broad terms. And he says that any Raj Rishi should be humble, like Vasisht, should be detached, like Janak, and should be committed, like Narad. So the commitment, humility, and detachment. These are the three very important aspects for anybody who is in position of power. Any emperor, any prime minister, any government servant, or for that matter, any person who is the head of the family. Humility teaches us that there is no difference between I and outside. So why that ego? The detachment. Detachment is important because the process is important, outcome is not. And that means you need to be detached while you are taking action. Never be attached to the result. And that's the famous saying from Gita, Karmanevadhikaraste ma phaleshu kadachana. And finally, commitment. You should not only be humble and having this feeling of detachment, but you should also be committed to the task that you are doing. It's not about lazy yoga, it's about action oriented yoga. It's about activity. That commitment comes from that desire, the thirst to get that knowledge which is relevant to the field that we are working in. And that I think very much summarize how you can do the balance of power with compassion and wisdom. The concept of Raj Rishi as explained in Arthashastra. Uh, I would say that when we talk about yoga, I read a famous book of Sadhguru, the Karma, and it is one of the chapters explains yoga is about three A's. And again, this comes back to Raj Rishi. First is awareness. You need to be aware about your surroundings. You should be aware what is happening. Action. You need to be doing action. Even if you are doing breathing, that is a very conscious breathing pattern so that you are aware that there is no anxiety and you are reducing your pulse rate. That is also an action. And the third part is abandonment. So action, awareness, abandonment. The three A's together is nothing but yoga. A lot of people asked me when I was posted abroad in Japan, in especially in Croatia, because Croatia is a European country, and European countries always have this difference between intellect and intuition. They talk more about intellect, and they say intuition is something subtle, which is subjective. It cannot be trained. And when we talk about yoga, there, this concept of that awareness, action, and abandonment actually are understood, like they are understood very well by them. because they understand that when you attach to something, hold on to something, it never stays with you. And when you enjoy that process of whatever you have, more comes your way. And I think this is one of the ways that India can lead by our ancient knowledge, explaining that materialistic world is for survival, but much more satisfaction and blissful existence comes with this ancient wisdom. I think I'll stop here, and because whatever I said, I cannot add more in terms of the knowledge that I can share on this topic. There are many examples that I can share where we have applied these ancient wisdom. For example, during the G20 presidency of India, the whole motto of India's presidency was to have Kutumbakam, one world, one future, one earth. And the whole idea of this positive energy reflected into the outcome document. When a lot of people thought that it will be difficult task for India to bring everybody together and come out with an outcome document. But since our original objective was noble, it was driven by our ancient wisdom of Vastu Kutumbakam, positive energy flowed and everybody came together despite so many differences, especially in the geopolitical tension that we were living in. So that was one example. Examples of, for example, what we are doing in the planet, pro-planet people concept of mission life, International Solar Alliance. This is now understood by the world that India is here to contribute not only for India's growth, for the economic growth, but also for the saving the planet. We are the only country which has actually fulfilled its commitment, which were made at the COP15 in Paris. That is a model that we not only talk about it, we do it. Action is important, while wisdom is important also. And lastly, let me also mention about economics. We know that we are in the period of Amrit Kal. In the next 25 years, we have a lot of things to do, but a lot of things to enjoy also in this journey. There was a recent book that was written by our previous chief economic advisor, Professor Krishnamurthy, India at 100. Now, he has very beautifully explained what India needs to do in next 25 years to achieve the goal of becoming a developed country by 2047. And he talked about four pillars. The first pillar is about macroeconomic focus on growth. Our focus should be very clear because unless we have growth, we cannot actually deliver the results on the ground. So growth focus should be there at the level of macroeconomics. The second pillar he explained, microeconomics focus on inclusion. While we grow, we should ensure that this growth is inclusive, both at the level of people, but also at the level of planet. And that inclusive focus at the microeconomics is the second pillar that he explained. The third one that he explained, and that is most important as I understand, ethical value creation. And I think this power of ethics and importance of ethics in public life and in generally in our human life is the crucial, what you call missing link if we are not happy. Ethics creates the positive energy and that creates the outcomes. So ethical value creation, ethical wealth creation should be the way India go in the next 25 years. And the last pillar that he explained is that public and private investment, there should be no distinction. They should support each other. We should create a virtuous cycle where there is no difference between public and private. And that's the concept of united consciousness. There should be a united effort where there should not be profit taking on one side, another side cribbing about it. We should work together and create value for each other. That book is a blueprint for India's growth in the coming years. And I think that that also explains that our policymakers, our advisors are also tuned with our ancient wisdom as we take this journey of growth of India. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, sir. I think the speech was right representative of the theme of the program and the United Consciousness as an organization itself. You mentioned about The purpose of life is self-discovery, as mentioned by Indian scriptures. Vasudhaiv Kutumbakam, you mentioned, which is the practical execution of it. And you also took us in your journey of 27 years of your services. You compared with intellect and how sixth sense is the intuition and how much intuition is important in governance. You also mentioned that compassion is when I go beyond my physical body, beyond myself, and the analogy of world as an ocean and you as a milk, and how by churning instead of getting mixed in the water, you can convert yourself butter, which will be there but with a detached format. And with that detachment, when you do your services, this is what you call exact governance. No ego, no I, you mentioned. And then you start enjoying the process. And you rightly said, when you enjoying the process, thinking that outcome will come itself. You gave reference to many great scriptures, Yoga Sutra, Panini Ashtadhyaya. You gave special focus on Arthashastra and the learning of those 15 qualities of Raja Rishi, which every person in governance, or even for that matter, householders, should have: humility like Vashishta, detachment like Janak, and commitment like Narad. That's very profound of you, sir. And the process is important, and outcome is detachment and commitment to the action. You shouldn't be dull, as you rightly said that Sadhguruji's book you mentioned, in that you said that awareness, action, and abandonments together is called yoga. And G20 performed this yoga in terms of Vasudhaiv Kutumbakam. We became one of those countries, or I think the only country, who got unanimously agreement of the outcome document, as you mentioned. And during Amrit Kar, you also said that the book written by Chief Economic Advisor, India at 100, called upon major pillars that India must be having for the developed economy: macroeconomic focus on growth, micro focus on inclusion, ethical value creation, and public and private both should have their investment. I think what can be the better beginning of the day? And you covered everything. And the best part is, while doing it, as they say, yoga karmashu kaushlam, you were absolutely mindful about time. I was also watching it, you watching the watch, and you assured that ye gagar mein sagar, you concluded exactly dot in time. Lot of learning from this, sir. Thank you very much. We are honored. Thank you very much for being a part of United Consciousness to create a better world around. Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much for having me. Thank you.
Thank you. Regards, sir.
On behalf of United Consciousness, I thank Mr. Rajkumar Shrivastava for coming on to the platform of United Consciousness and sharing his views. Thank you so much. It's a privilege to have the opportunity to introduce our next guest, who believes that we can fly high when we remain connected to our roots, and when we fly high, we will provide solutions to the world. While promoting our culture, we must ensure the work towards the progress of the country in our social actions. He is Mr. Agus Indra Udayana. He was actively engaged in promoting Gandhian values in Indonesia through his 4 ashrams in Bali based on the principles of non-violence, truth, and humanitarianism. Prompted by a serious concern for the spiritual, cultural, social, and economic life in Bali, the ashrams Gandhipuri was instituted to promote enduring interfaith and dialogue to create cultures of peace, justice, and healing. He proactively works towards promoting Indian art and culture in Indonesia and has sought support of the Indian Council for Cultural Relations to promote Balinese culture in India. He regularly participates in social work activities in India, Indonesia, and other parts of the world, working in close coordination with the NGOs promoting Gandhian values. He has done his graduation in economy and postgraduate from Institute of Gandhian Studies, Wardha, Maharashtra. Also done short courses on Gandhi Peace and Social Actions, Gujarat, Vidyapeeth. He has been awarded the International Jamnalal Bajaj Award in 2011, Global Youth Icon Award in 2014, and Padma Shri Award in 2020. So, ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together to welcome Mr. Agus Indra Udayana.
Most welcome, my brother in divine Agnes J. We are so
Yes,
honored to have you on United Consciousness platform. All
thank
stage is
you.
yours for next 15 minutes, and we are so eager to know from you and listen from you about finding peace within through spiritual surrender and acceptance. All yours.
Yes, Namaskar, our brother, sister in all part of the world who's joined of the meeting today, even from different part of the world, still in the spirit of International Yoga Day, spirit of peace. We are together here. Om Swastiastu. Our greeting from Bali, Indonesia, from the Assam Gandhipuri. We got the idea about the finding peace within true spiritual surrenders and upset and the acceptance. Dear friend, nowadays we know how the situation, the world is full with the unpeace, war in the some part of the world, violence. Then when we talk about non-violence, we are also think about how actually the idea of Mahatma Gandhi, Swami Vivekananda, Rabindranath Tagore, and the great saints from India, include the Dalai Lama and Mother Teresa, how their spirit, how they are work as a karma yogi. The action is make peace for us. Inspiration we get from their action. We are thinking about the surrender. How nowadays the world we are thinking about all our philosophy is faith. If it does not enable us to rejoice in the company of fellow beings and their service. Now we need a service. We are here together. We inspiring one each others, listens the speech from the speaker who are in karma yogi, who are in action. They are really great. I just talk from spirit of Bali, spirit of Indonesia, and the spirit from Southeast Asia. Root is India, but fruit with us. Still, we are preserved the culture, the ideal in the daily activities of Balinese people mostly. About the idea Tatwam Asi, Vaisudeva Kutumbakam. When you come to Bali, you will see actually the fruit now is becoming seed in anywhere. We are happy and we are very proud to be Hindu. The most in the small island, in the biggest country, 99% mostly they are Muslim and Christian, but we are only 1% Hindu, but still we are preserve our culture and tradition. That is the great thing of the contribution of the Rishi who inspiring us how to put all the action to inspiring the people. When you come to Indonesia, when you come to Bali, you will see when you come to the airport how the flower in anywhere. It's flower not only the artificial. You can go to the even the toilet of the airport. See how the flower, how the agarbati inside of the toilet itself. Therefore, the smell of the things, it's mean our heart is pure to receive you. Atiti Deva Bhava. Nowadays, I'm not a scholar. I'm not a good speaker, but I'm just a karma yogi from my work, inspiring in the small work, like that idea of Swami Vivekananda and Mahatma Gandhi. We do something small, sincere, with pure love. That is totally surrender. We need totally surrender for our aims and goal. Then I love to be part of the world consciousness when we meet the great people and great karma yogi. Actually, when we are hand in hand together. The inspiration is already there. I'm not talking too much about the philosophy because all you are a great philosopher. Now we talk about action. What the action we can do together. The world consciousness doing good work every year. We meet in the holy city of Ujjain. Then nowadays, Dr. Tuhin, you make a Tomarji, you make a nice uh, inspiration for us how we connect to the world. Then the system of the integration, we make it not just about the meeting, but how the talk and the spirit from the heart of the speaker here together. I feel this is the peace is within. We need the peace together. However, spiritual surrender is not about giving up. It is about letting go. It is the conscious act of realizing our need to control every outcome, every emotion, and every situation. In spiritual tradition around the world, be in the teaching of Vedas, Quran, everything. We got the inspiration from our holy book. Ekam Satviprah Vahuda Vadanti. God is one, but we call in a different name. This idea make us one together. From the school of thought, from different part of the world, from the school of thought, from different perspective of our scholar, our speaker in the world consciousness, I think make us one. We should continuing. It's not just one day. This is need daily. I love to be part of the world, to be part of the world consciousness. Then we can share. In my action, in our ashram, in the small ashram, we have 20. We just support 27 students. They are all from the poor background. Then they study for graduation till master and till PhD. Then now we have 300 students. Then 300 students have an idea. Now they back to the village. Then they create something their own village. They are from Java, Sumatra, Kalimantan, Lombok. Uh, then we are think about how the connection between us. They are from different part of the religions also. Hope in some time there is exchange culture also. We are open for the volunteer from the world consciousness to come to share with us how we create the atmosphere of peace, how we create the atmosphere of unity, how we create the unity of harmony. The same like world consciousness with the small idea in Ujjain, now is becoming big fire, big light, enlightenment of the people, and inspiring the people together, inspiring the people to sit, to talk, to write something, and after 1 year, we have another meeting, and together, hope not only in Ujjain, come to the different part of the world, then we can share how the world actually like a pot, so many flowers. We are in peace. The same like from our Hindu tradition. We talk about Om Vyahu Santi, Antariksam Santi, Pertivi Santi, Apahat Santi, Ausadaya Santi. But that is Santi. We need peace. When we need peace, we go inside. When we need peace, let's be peace ourselves. No ego, totally surrender, and the power of prayer to all the religions is our contribution to the world for peace. Om Santi.
Thank you very much, my dear friend Igatji. And so nicely you invoked the profound lives of Mahatma Gandhi, Mother Teresa, His Holiness Dalai Lama, and you rightly invoked the feeling of being a karma yogi, total surrendering and praying for life and for the world in general. You rightly mentioned that the roots of India have culminated into fruits in Indonesia and now sowing further seed. And this is how the goodness spreads. Thank you very much, Igasji, and may I
You
request you to
Vikramji.
stay back here so that we together can welcome our Honorable Guruji, Dr. H.R. Nagendraji.
Yes, Pranam. Tanya Vikranji.
Yes,
Thanks.
yes. You please stay here
On
and
behalf of United Consciousness, I thank Mr. August Indra Udiana for coming on to the platform of United Consciousness. Thank you so much.
you stay back. We'll invite Dr. H.R. Nagendraji after his introduction.
We all need happiness, and yoga is the way for that much needed happiness factor in life. This is quoted by Shri Shri Ravi Shankar. I find immense pleasure in introducing the multi-talented personality. He's a mechanical engineer, yoga therapist, academician, and a writer. He is Guruji Dr. H.R. Nagendra, the founder, Vice Chancellor of Swami Vivekananda Yoga Anusandhana Sansthan, a deemed university located in Bangalore. He is the best known as the personal yoga consultant of Shri Narendra Modi ji and is a recipient of Yoga Shri title from the Ministry of Health and Family Welfare. He has authored 35 books and over 100 research papers on yoga. The Government of India awarded him honor of the Padma Shri in 2016 for his contributions to society. In 1975, he became the National Secretary of Yoga Shiksha Vibhag. He also held the post of Secretary of Vivekananda Kendra Yoga Therapy and Research Committee and the Director of Indian Yoga Institute. Dr. Nagendra is the pioneer of cyclic meditation, a yogic technique where the practitioner performs slow, conscious physical movements. He claims the technique is useful in treating illnesses like stress management, asthma, cancer, and many more. I owe the privilege to welcome Guruji Dr. H.R. Nagendra ji to share his views.
Wajah kita udah.
Most welcome, Honorable Guruji. I'm joined with Dr. H.C. Igasji also to welcome you.
Oh, nice. Thank you so much. Meeting you. Wonderful. Body.
Yes, Guruji, and whole stage is yours. We all are eager to listen from you about cultivating mindfulness and presence in overcoming mental health obstacles. Over to you, Guruji.
Yeah, thank you. I will share the screen.
Yes.
So that I have a PPT. Are you able to see my slide? Okay. Okay. Are you able to see this?
See, Guruji.
No. Not yet?
Not yet.
Screen ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡು ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕಲ್ಲ screen Is it on now? Not yet?
Is it visible now?
No, it is still not visible. If you permit us, then the mail that you sent us, let us share that screen just to save time.
Okay.
Yes. Okay. Perfect.
No,
So may I
entire
request
screen. We shared
No, it's
entire
not.
screen.
No, it's not visible. Yes. You
Just
may
we'll
start
share.
with this. No, this is we have shared from here. You may start with that.
Now are you able to see now?
Yes, yes. Yes, yes.
Just getting.
Yeah.
Okay, my dear brothers and sisters, I'm so glad that United Consciousness has organized this International Week of Peace from 14 to 22nd September, and I'm glad to be with you all today just to share how the inner peace brings the peace outside. So we know that today mental health challenges have increased exponentially. Whether it is anxiety, depression, chronic stress, are all are becoming common. Overcoming these obstacles require a combination of tools that not only deals with body and mind. One powerful approach is the cultivation of presence of mind, what we call as the Sakshi Bhava. In a sense, mindfulness also means that, but many people think is mind full of thoughts. Can we call that as mindfulness? So therefore, I prefer to use dhyana for that purpose. And the Sakshi Bhava is presence of mind combined with the techniques of meditation. So cyclic meditation, as has been mentioned, is one of the techniques that we have developed based on Manduk Karika, Manduk Upanishad. So what we have to do is we have to integrate the specific dimensions of dhyana. What are all these dimensions which make us go to that Sakshi Bhava, dhyana, as it is called, the seventh limb of Patanjali, yama, niyama, asana, pranayama, pratyahara, then dharana, dhyana, samadhi. Dharana also has a single thought, but there's a lot of effort in it. There is a focusing, there's a speed, all that, which are reduced and go on making it smaller and smaller so that the single thought, staying in the single thought, will become very effortless, spontaneous. And correspondingly, the speed of thought goes on reducing. It becomes slower, slower, slower. When you slow down, the normal tendency is to just go to sleep. So no sleep, sir. No, wakefulness is the key. And as you go deeper, then your mind expands. There's a feeling of expansiveness. There's a feeling of rightness. These five form the key features of any meditation technique called as dhyana by Patanjali. Bhagavad Gita will say, Shanaihi, Shanaihi, Uparamet, Buddhya, Dhrutikruhiteha, Atmasamstam Manakrutwana Kinchidapi Chindayet, it said. So this is the meditation. This can further enhance the effectiveness of these practices. So, the important presence of mind, it is to bring the part to mental clarity. Presence of mind refers to the state of being fully aware, centered in the present moment, without being distracted by chanchalata or emotional turbulence or mental clutter. It's a tool that allows individuals to step outside the cycle of overthinking and rumination. We all get stuck with the chain of thoughts, both of which are very common in mental health struggles like anxiety or depression and other things. So, normally people who have got these mental challenges are not to do meditation because they get into their loop. Therefore, the cyclic meditation is a dynamic approach that we have developed based on Mandukya Karika, often put to the CM. Is a structured practice developed here in our Svasa. It includes cycles of gentle physical activity and deep relaxation. Stimulate, relax, stimulate, relax, stimulate, relax. This is the key essence of meditation. Stimulation to shatter the tamas, stagnation, drowsiness, sleepiness, and calming down of the mind, prashamana, slowing relaxation is the key essence. So, unlike traditional seated meditation, this dynamic meditation makes use of the body's natural rhythms to release stress, increase energy, and promote a deep sense of peace. The cyclical nature of cyclic meditation mirrors the natural ebb and flow of tension and relaxation in life. In nature, everything is cyclical. It comes and goes, day and night, seasons after seasons and others. Similarly, here also, stimulation, relaxation are the key dimensions which go on in a cyclic way. By consciously engaging in this process, the practitioners of the cyclic meditation can release pent up stress, balance their nervous system, and develop the ability to stay calm and centered even in the face of challenges, maintaining equanimity in everything. So, the key dimensions of meditation for mental health has been to maintain a single thought. In meditation, focusing on a single thought or point of awareness helps clear the mind of distraction. So it is from focusing in dharana to defocusing in dhyana. That's the difference. The difference in focusing, there is contraction, there is focusing. Whereas here it is defocusing, expansion. Whether it is the breath, a mantra, or a specific intention, concentrating on a single thought creates mental stillness, breaking the cycle of scattered thinking that often accompanies stress and anxiety. In stress and anxiety, the excessive speed, faster mind, faster mind, faster mind. Often it could be even creative or innovative mind. That all has to be done. Therefore, you have to slow down. Slowing down is the key essence of the meditation. By intentionally practicing slow, deliberate movements and thoughts, individuals create more awareness of the subtle changes in the emotions and mental stress. Slowness helps in breaking the habit of rushed thinking, promoting calmer, more centered mind. So this is augmented by the slow movement of the hand, when you are doing that. Combines asanas and little pranayama and all these things are included in this dimension. And when you do that, wakefulness, maintained awareness is the whole thing. So, whether seated or moving through the cycles of the wakefulness refers to being fully aware of each moment, called essentially as the Sakshi Baba, being aware of things that are happening. When have our different asanas being done, go on observing what is happening to every part of the body, what is happening to the sensations, what is happening to emotions. We go on being observers, Sakshi, observer that we have. And that brings the expansiveness, feeling of lightness, expansiveness, and embracing a broader perspective of life. Expansiveness helps in breaking cycles of self-centered thoughts that often lead to anxiety and depression. Particularly in neuroticism, the mind goes very, very fast and it has to be brought down. So these are all characteristic of uncontrolled speed of the mind. And dhyana brings the slowing down. This is augmented by the trifold process of slow movements of the body and slow breathing, which helps us to calm down the mind and go to a deeper thing. So, how do these dimensions support mental health? Single thought helps in breaking the overwhelming cycle of negative thinking, allowing individuals to focus on one point and let go of mental clutter. What about effortlessness? It helps in sense of acceptance, ease, reducing resistance to difficult emotions. Slowness is very important. Slowness of the mind and the body and the breath gives practitioners the space to process emotions without being reactive. Wakefulness, preventing the autopilot response to stress that often exacerbate mental health issues. Expansiveness fosters a greater sense of connection and openness, which can counter feelings of isolation and depression. There are a lot of published research supporting various dimensions of meditation. Not to talk about the transcendental meditation which Maharishi Mahesh Yogi developed, the effectiveness of CM has been demonstrated. We have published nearly 24 research papers. In one of the studies published in Journal of Clinical Psychology, found the participants who practiced CM experienced significant reduction in anxiety and depressive symptoms, with sustained improvements in emotional well-being over time. Furthermore, the RCT in the International Journal of Yoga revealed that CM improves both psychological and physiological markers of stress dimensions. Another significant study explored the impact of cycling in working professionals dealing with chronic stress. They learn how to deal with their stress in the work field, and they have been able to incorporate the principles of cyclic meditation in their work regime. Participants showed remarkable reduction in stress-related symptoms, improved sleep quality, enhanced cognitive functioning after just 8 weeks of practice of the cyclic meditation. So in conclusion, we can say cultivation of presence of mind combined with cyclic meditation provides a comprehensive and evidence-based approach to overcoming mental health obstacles. The integration of dimensions such as single thought, effortlessness, slowness, wakefulness, and expansiveness bring about these dimensions. And therefore, it is very, very essential that the mind should calm down more and more, more and more, and that's the one that brings peace and bliss unto it. Anandamaya Kosha is featured by slowness, calmness, and peace, and the bliss. Bliss is silence, bliss is peace. Once we have peace inside, then it percolates outside, and that is the one that we have to bring about in the world at large. It offers individuals a pathway to greater emotional resilience, mental clarity, and overall well-being. So, backed by published research, these tools are invaluable for anyone seeking to manage stress, anxiety, and other mental health challenges effectively. So, once again, I congratulate Vikrant for organizing this beautiful International Week of Peace. And let us hope that peace will pervade, preventing all these challenges that we are facing today in the form of war and whatnot. Can we build one world family? That is the whole thing that our Honorable Prime Minister gave in the G20. And Vikrant was going around spreading this message of G20 in various countries. Once again, I congratulate you, Vikram, for all these things. Wish you all the best. Namaskar.
Thank you very much, Honorable Guruji. Your blessings always encourage me as an individual and United Consciousness as an organization too. Thank you for sharing our S. Vyasa's research-based cyclic meditation. I personally follow it, Guruji, and as you rightly said, it is scripturally based and backed by scientific evidences. We request all the audience watching us from different parts of the planet, do visit the website of S. Vyasa and identify wonderful work S. Vyasa University is doing and for the betterment of humanity and yoga. Thank you very much, Honorable Guruji.
Thank you. Namaste. Good day.
I owe my thanks to Guruji H.R. Nagendraji for sending his blessings in a message. We are honored and grateful to you, Guruji. Thank you so much.
Andrei Lobanov is one of the founders and leaders of the yoga community in Russia. Yoga master with a unique path and experience, who started his yoga practice and research in Soviet time when yoga and other oriental practices were forbidden. Andrei's school became the first official yoga school in USSR and Russia in 1983. He found a way to legalize yoga in Nizhny Novgorod region and played an important part in making yoga legal all over the country. In 1989, he founded the first yoga teachers training school in Russia, which in 2002 became the Academy of Traditional Systems of Healthcare and Human Development and got the license from Ministry of Education for yoga teachers training. He also was the first in Russia to work out yoga therapy educational courses, which were included in the curriculum in foremost medical higher education institutions. Vast experience in yoga, ancient and modern medicine, studying different philosophical and scientific systems enabled him to create a unique multi-level system called Yoga Lamp. It is based on the principles of classical yoga Patanjali, research of scientists, innovators, and original technologies and practices worked out by Andrei himself. The object of Yoga Lamp is to help modern human to govern himself and his own life, to give him effective technologies for self-exploration, self-healing, and self-development, which make him free and independent from different manipulators, political, ideological, commercial, to develop ecological consciousness, which helps us to overcome ecological crisis and save the planet. Welcome, Andrewji.
Namaste.
Most welcome, respected Andreji and Julia. We are so inspired to have you again on this platform. The whole world is open and waiting to listen to you. Next 13 minutes are all yours. Most welcome.
Здравствуйте, друзья.
Namaste, dear friends.
Мы сегодня продолжим тему асана мира, которую мы начали на моем прошлом мастер-классе в рамках этой конференции, посвященной Международному дню йоги.
Today we are going to continue the topic, the asana of peace, which we started on my previous class on this conference, which is dedicated to the International Day of Peace.
Мы говорили о том, что практика асаны делается с участием ума, которым заложены определенные программы.
I told you last time that asana is often performed with participation of mind, which has certain programs incorporated in it.
И большей частью эти программы связаны с функцией ума, решать проблемы и выживать.
Mainly, these programs are related to mind's function to solve problems and to ensure our survival.
Они построены на самоутверждении, отдельности, необходимости соревноваться, доказывать, отстаивать, прилагать усилия, чтобы что-то преодолеть и получить.
Mind's programs are based on self-affirmation, separation, striving to compete, to prove, to defend, to take efforts in order to overcome and to get something.
Эти программы переносятся на практику йоги, и, делая асану, практикующие пытаются, преодолевая напряжение и боль, получить результат.
These programs are often transferred to yoga practice, and doing asana, practitioners overcome tension and pain to get results.
Результат – это правильное выполнение стандартных асан.
And the result is the correct performance of standard asanas.
Но не все из анатомических или иных особенностей способны их выполнить, и это приносит разочарование. А те, кто способен добиться требуемого результата, самоутверждаются и получают такое чувство значимости.
But many people are not able to perform standard asanas due to their anatomic or other features, and they get disappointed. And others who are able to achieve this result, they get proud and get the feeling of self-importance and significance.
Все это цели ума.
All of these are purposes of mind.
Но действовать в алгоритмах ума – это не есть задача йоги.
But the purposes yoga is not about acting within algorithms of mind.
Йога – это поиск действительности, в результате которого расширяется наше видение мира, и мы можем видеть его таким, какой он есть.
Yoga is about searching the actuality, which results in a broader worldview and empowers us to see the world as it really is.
И программы сравнений, соревнования, доказательства своей значимости и важности являются препятствием для этого.
And programs of comparison, competition, self-proof, and self-importance become an obstacle on this way.
И их необходимо устранить, выйдя за пределы ума.
And we have to eliminate them, coming out beyond the mind.
Поэтому мы делаем асаны с подходом, в котором изначально ум отключен.
That's why we do asana using a method in which mind is initially turned off.
Это и есть йога.
This is yoga.
Йога как соединение с Высшим, нашей сутью, которая находится в пространстве бесконечности, без времени. И это соединение приводит к состоянию, которое мы называем махакал-йога, то есть состояние вне времени.
Yoga is connection with Supreme, with our essence, which belongs to space of infinity and timelessness. And this connection leads us to the state called Mahakal Yoga, the state which is beyond the time.
И оно открывает пространство мира, радости, блаженства, где не надо никому ничего доказывать, ни с кем соревноваться, не создавать конфликт.
This state opens for us a space of peace, joy, and bliss, where there is no need to compete, no need to prove anything to anyone, or to create conflicts.
Сейчас мы сделаем практику медитативных движений, в которой я, как ведущий, возьму на себя роль вашего ума.
Now we are going to do a practice of meditative movements. In this practice, I will take on the role of your mind.
И ваша задача просто делать движения, следуя моим указаниям и наблюдать за процессом.
And your task is just to perform the movements that I suggest and to observe the process.
В этом заключается практика медитативных движений.
This is the point of meditation movements.
И в ней важно различать, как ум вмешивается, проявляя привычные способы и алгоритмы действий, в основе которых программы достижения, сравнения, соревнований.
In this practice, it is important to notice how mind interferes in it, showing usual algorithms and ways of acting, based on the programs of achievement, comparison, and competition.
Ваша задача останавливать эту деятельность ума, возвращая внимание в само действие, в движение.
And your task is to stop this activity, bringing your attention back into the action itself, into the movement of your body.
Для этой медитативной работы с телом важно принять факт, что мы не получаем никакой пользы. Она не заложена в практике.
To do this meditative work with our body successfully, you have to accept the fact that we are not going to get any benefits from this practice. It doesn't imply any use.
Мы ничего не пытаемся достигать, соответствовать стандартам, поэтому нет сравнения, правильности выполнения движений, нет соревнования, стремления сделать их лучше других.
We are not going to compete, not going to correspond any standards. That's why there is no comparison, no correct or incorrect performance, no competition, no desire to do better than others.
Вы будете выполнять действия, включив наблюдателя внутри себя, который активно наблюдает за тем, что происходит в теле и сознании, и как включаются программы ума.
We will perform actions involving our inner observer, which observes actively what's going on in the body and in your consciousness and how programs of the mind operate and interfere.
И это позволяет его остановить. И таким образом можно получить знание о том, как вами управляет ум.
This practice allows us to stop the mind and to obtain knowledge about how minds control us.
И это понимание станет фундаментом для вашей дальнейшей жизни в йоге.
This knowledge will become like foundation for your further life in yoga.
Вы начнете различать, как в вашу практику, будь то асана, пранаяма или медитация, вмешивается ум и перечеркивает эту работу. Поиск истины, истинного, связи с миром действительности, которая несет состояние радости, свободы, любви, в котором нет войны, вражды, и конфликта.
You begin to discern how mind interferes in your practice, whether it's asana, pranayama, or meditation, and how it negates all your work, your search of truth, connection with the world of actuality, which brings the state of joy, freedom, and love, where there's no war, no hostility, no conflicts.
Сейчас мы с вами попробуем сделать эту практику. Она требует гораздо, конечно, больше времени.
And now we are going to do this practice. Of course, it requires much more time,
Но мы сделаем небольшое погружение, которое, возможно, в отпущенный нам промежуток времени, и вы получите опыт переживания этого состояния, насколько это возможно.
but we will make a short dive, which is possible in the period of time that we are given, and you'll get experience of this state.
Лягте на живот,
Lie down on your stomach,
руки вдоль туловища.
arms by your sides.
Голову поместите лбом на пол.
Place your head face down with your forehead on the mat.
Почувствуйте свое дыхание. Соберите внимание на ощущение от вдоха и выдоха.
Feel your breath. Concentrate your attention on sensation from inhalation and exhalation.
Разверните внимание вместе с дыханием на все тело, ощущая его границы и все информационные сигналы, идущие из него.
Expand your attention and breathing over your entire body, feeling its borders and all informational signals coming from it.
Почувствуйте, как внимание и дыхание перемещается в левую ногу.
Feel how your breath and attention move to your left leg.
Почувствуйте левую ногу.
Feel your left leg.
Наблюдайте, как с каждым вдохом и выдохом нарастает активность в ноге.
Observe how activity increases in your leg with every inhalation and exhalation.
И со следующим вдохом почувствуйте, как нога отрывается от пола и поднимается на 2-3 сантиметра.
As you inhale, feel your leg goes up and rises by 2 or 3 centimeters.
Со следующим вдохом и выдохом еще на 5-6 сантиметров.
With the next breathing act, lift your left leg 5 or 6 centimeters higher.
Удерживайте левую ногу в этом положении.
Keep it in this position.
Почувствуйте, как внимание и дыхание перемещается в правую руку.
Feel how your attention and breath move to your right arm.
Почувствуйте правую руку.
Feel your right arm.
И с каждым следующим вдохом и выдохом активность в руке нарастает.
And with each your next breath, the activity in the hand increases.
Со вдохом почувствуйте, как рука отрывается от пола на 2-3 сантиметра.
With the next inhalation, feel how your arm goes up 2 or 3 centimeters from the mat.
Затем еще на 5-6 сантиметров.
Then 5 or 6 centimeters more.
Удерживайте внимание на дыхании и на всем теле.
Keep your attention on your breathing on entire body,
На активности в левой ноге и правой руке.
on activity in your left leg and right hand.
Последующим вдохом и выдохом плавно, медленно позвольте правой руке опуститься на пол.
With the next breath, let your right arm to go down slowly and drop it on the mat.
Медленно, медленно, медленно.
Slowly, slowly, slowly.
Переведите внимание на левую ногу.
Move your attention to the left leg.
Почувствуйте ее. И со вдохом, выдохом плавно и медленно опускайте ногу на пол.
Feel it, and with the next breathing act, lower it slowly on the floor.
Медленно, медленно, медленно.
Slowly, slowly, slowly.
Наблюдайте в тишине за проявлениями в теле.
Observe in calmness what's going on in your body.
Со следующим вдохом и выдохом почувствуйте активность в теле.
With the next inhalation and exhalation, feel the activity in your body.
Вытяните руки вперед, потянитесь.
Extend your arms, open your eyes, and stretch your body.
Затем сядьте, откройте глаза и осмотритесь.
Sit down and look around.
Спасибо за внимание.
Thank you for your attention.
Thank you very much, respected Andreji and dear Yulia. It is very difficult to talk after your meditation. You make us feel so much submerged in self. It is so soothing. It is so comforting. Thank you very much for taking us a journey towards ourselves.
On behalf of United Consciousness team, we would like to thank Andreji for sharing his views and experiences in the journey of yoga.
Collective meditation harnesses the power of shared intentions for global healing and recovery. By uniting people across the world in focused mindfulness, meditation amplifies the energy of peace and compassion. This collective practice becomes a beacon of hope, guiding humanity towards healing, unity, and renewal in times of global crisis. So the topic of panel discussion today is the power of collective meditation for global healing and recovery. In the panel, we have with us Bholanath Yogi Ji from Nath Tradition, Principal HVP Nepal. He is also the founder of Children's Peace Home. Nath Tradition refers to the masters of the entire universe and the doer of all supreme human deeds. The origin of the Nath community is associated with the Gorakhanath, the yogic incarnation of Lord Shiva to spread the teachings of the science of yoga. The Nath community is a shared home for all people regardless of their gender, caste and religion. There are two types of Nath, household Naths and emancipated Naths gurus. The household Naths see them as a descendant of Nath who broke their vows of the celibacy and settled down. Any individual from any caste who gets influenced by and believes in Nath tradition can be emancipated saint. They must follow the 3 steps of teaching, emancipation and Gorakhabana. The Naths follow 12 panthas, 12 ideologies having 12 communities or 12 surnames, and there were 6 gurus of Shiva Yogi and 6 gurus of Gorakha Yogi. The Naths further follow the principles of Chaurasi Siddha. In Nath's tradition, 84 enlightened gurus have explored the basis of the survival of every creature. Nath Sampradaya has 9 Naths who were Siddhas and had perfected their mastery of yoga. It's my pleasure to invite Dr. Nitin Agarwal Vaidya, an Ayurveda doctor practicing Ayurveda for over 24 years. He's an expert in pulse diagnosis and Panchkarma treatments. He is known as a formulator and researcher of Ayurveda medicinal and herbal formulations according to international standards, Ayush, European Union and US FDA. Dr. Nitin has integrated the classical Ayurveda with modern scientific tools and knowledge. He is among one of the leading thinkers and young leaders in the field of Ayurveda. He has been regularly invited to speak at various international conferences, seminars and webinars. He is also the founder and MD of Bliss Ayurveda Private Limited, Chairman of Alliance Ayurveda Research and Training Institute, and National Secretary of Vishwa Ayurveda Parishad. So ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together to welcome Dr. Nitin Agarwal Vaidya. It's my pleasure to welcome our next guest, who is one of the highly accomplished leading professional in the field of holistic wellness in the world. He is Dr. Adrish Brahmadatta. Presently, he is the visiting professor and course coordinator of Yoga and Ayurveda at the Center for Bharat Studies, Mahidol University, Thailand. He is the founder and director of Atharva Wellness Private Limited, Thailand. He is a qualified registered Ayurveda doctor, and being a wellness professional has given lectures and trainings in more than 21 hours in various wellness related programs in various institutions such as universities, colleges, fitness centers, Ayurveda centers, yoga centers, prisons, rehabilitation centers and societies in 55 countries such as USA, UK, Australia, Taiwan, China, Japan, Mongolia, Vietnam, Myanmar, Indonesia and Thailand and many others. Being an academician, he has the responsibility as visiting lecturer, syllabus maker, examiner, etc. with many universities. Dr. Adrish has involved in High Government Prisoners Wellbeing Program and contributed his expertise in 4 central prisons and trained thousands of prisoners in Thailand. I'm pleased to welcome Ms. Avanti Kundalia, a yoga teacher and life coach. She holds a major in psychology and English, as well as a diploma in teaching yoga from Gita International Yoga. Avanti has studied and served at Chinmay Mission, Singapore for over a decade. She recently completed an intensive 3 years correspondence at Dvaita Vedanta course at the Vedanta Academy, Malavali, India. Gifted with the innate ability to articulate profound philosophical concepts in practical and relatable ways, her engaging writings, live Vedanta classes, and group discussions touch and transform many lives across all age groups. So, ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together to welcome Ms. Avanti Kundalia. Today's panel discussion will be moderated by Dr. Vikrant Singh Tobar, convener United Consciousness. Dr. Tomer is an acknowledged trainer, academician, scholar, writer, and a management consultant. He's a freelance trainer and served the cabinet ministers of state, MLAs, police officers, and tycoons of the business world. His aim and objective is universal brotherhood and happiness through harmonizing the knowledge from the ancient scriptures into our lives. So I welcome all our guests for panel discussion.
Namaste. We welcome you.
Namaskar, namaskar.
Namaste, Nitin ji. So nice to see you here. Namaste.
Yes,
Avanti
here.
ji, so good to see you. Namaste.
Namaste to
And
everyone.
our friend Adrish ji, if you can switch on your camera, we can't see you. हमें दर्शन दीजिए अपने. And Namaste, Adrish ji. Most welcome. So, and we welcome our audience from different parts of the world who are watching this program of IST time zone. Dear friends, the topic of our discussion is the power of collective meditation for global healing and recovery. So I'm joined by people from 4 different nationalities in this Asian continent, and let's begin this discussion. And to begin with, let's go to Nepal and ask Bholanath ji, who comes from Nath tradition. Bholanath ji, we are going to talk about meditation. You have been a practitioner of meditation, you follow Nath tradition. And how does meditation contribute in healing and recovery?
Thank you. Shall I start the mantra? Om Yaschitta Santatalaya Salaya Pradishto Yastu Prabhanjana Vidhana Rato Hatassa Yo Mantra Murti Basaga Satu Mantra Yogo Yaschitta Britti Rahita Sahiraja Yoga Hatham Bina Raja Yogo Raja Yogam Bina Hatha न सिद्धे ततो युग्मा मानिस्पत्ते समभ्यसेद गोरक्ष बालम गुरु शिष्य पालम शेषा हिमालम शशिखंड भालम कालस्य कालम जित जन्म जालम वंदे जटालम जगदब जनालम वंदे जटालम जगदब जनालम ओम नमः पार्वती वंदे नमस्ते to everyone from Nepal. Today's topic is the very, very important, which is the most important in the world, anything else. I mean, in Ashtanga Yoga, dhyana is the way to get to the reality. Just I said, hatam bina raja yogo, raja yogam bina hatam. Raja yoga means raja, king, top of the yoga is raja. But without hatha yoga, you can't reach to the raja yoga, as Gorakhnath ji said. Because they are there are 2 parts of the one coin, like, Hatha Yoga and Raja Yoga. I mean, when we come into the world, there are lots of information spread around us, which is we need and not need, doesn't matter. If we're going to the office, we see the lots of things, accident or anything. Those memory comes in our brain, and that makes the big junk in our brain. Dhyana, the meditation only, which purify us, is found that destination. Because other those, we say sansara, which is the human being has got the attachment. Because of that, they stuck in that. Through the dhyana, they can connect themselves to this reality. At the same time, it is very healthy also, because the bad informations or those information which we do not need is still in that. Because of that, we feel very much heavy in our brain or heavy in thing. But dhyana, it purify us. That's why it is very important. Other thing is, now the whole world has been divided into the so many things, country, religion, dresses, blah blah things, food and everything. But only meditation brings together to us to go to that. So what is the meditation? Dhyanam nirvishayam manaha. Until or unless you do not detach yourself with what you are there, because you need to go to your super consciousness, which has come from. I mean, you come from there, so it takes you to there. That's why dhyana, meditation is very, very important, and that brings us together also at the same time. Other thing is, dhyana is through the dhyana you can listen him. We say anahada nada, and in Gorakh Sampradaya it says Suchma Veda anahada nada. Veda, people read the Veda, Om Dev Santi Prithvi Santi, read the Veda, but the Veda is out actually. When you become the Veda in you, or you become Veda yourself, sit on the Veda yourself, that is called Sushma Veda. So dhyana is the way to get the Sushma Veda. That's why dhyana is the very, very important. I don't know how much time I have got, so just thank you very much.
You're muted, Kranji, you're muted. Can't hear you.
Very profound, Bholanath ji. and you took us into a deep dive into Natha tradition, Dhyanam Nirvishayam Manaha. And Bolanaji mentioned about how meditation contributes in our life. I would take the same question to Edriji also. Edriji, you are a yoga teacher, you run an institution also, you are a professor also. Would you like to tell us some scientific aspects and the art and science both of meditation? How does it contribute in our life? What is the contribution of meditation in our life?
Namaskar, can you hear me?
Yep, yep.
Yeah. The most important thing that when we are dealing with, we are going to do meditations, especially we are dealing with the mind. And mind is the subtle part of this gross body, which is in every single cells of us. So we must aware that this body must be with proper nourished. Whatever we are consuming, whatever we are taking, going around, as of yoga, yukta vihara, ahara and viharasya. Same, like in Ayurveda, apatya ahara vihara. We have to maintain the purity of the body. So it will be reflected in our mind also. And if the mind is in a stage where it release the sattva, and we are doing such meditations, it will be fruitful in life. Not only that, when this body is representing the universe, as we know, we are the micro of the macro. So if we maintain the purity of the body, that means we are also maintaining the mind into sattva. The guna will be reflect. We are what we eat. We we are the way we think. So when we are doing the meditation, then it will be fruitful. We are connecting each other like we are four people, four individuals sitting in different places of the earth. But we are connecting, we are talking something that can make the world change, that can impact the society, people's life, so that we are sitting here. So that energy we are channelizing among ourselves, and the people they are looking into it, they are also get benefited.
Thank you.
So positive energy can create positivity. In that
Thank you.
aspect, we are the one who can change the world. So that's why yoga say that DNA is the blueprint of life. Like the way we think, the way we act, the way we emote, that will be reflect for not only for this time being but also for the future. So that you see, those who are doing exercise physical, their children become fit. Athletes children become athletic. Those who are exercising intellectuality, doctors, scientists, their children become intellectual. Singers children become singer. Like that, we must understand mind over the matter, mind over this physical body. So mind has the ultimate reason to change the world. So mind can
Thank
generate
you.
the peace. Through intellectuality we can experience that.
Thank you very
Thank
much,
you.
Edriji. You gave us micro and macro both of the prospects. Ahar, vihar, how it has to be pure. Avantiji has been practicing Vedanta also. We had Nath Sampradaya, we had some dimension from yoga also here, and now would like to know from you what are Vedanta's take on meditation, how meditation contributes in our life.
It was Namaskar from Singapore. It was very, very interesting listening to Dr.
Edriji, would
Naki.
you like to mute yourself that side? Because I think, Edriji, would you like to mute?
Yes.
Perfect. I think, Agarwalji, you may also have to mute because we are getting some humming. Go ahead, Avantiji. Thank you.
Namaskar from Singapore. It was wonderful listening to Dr. Nagendra ji first, and now especially of what Dr. Adrish added to it. I think it all starts from the state of the mind. Dr. Nagendra ji said something very important, that a conflicted mind not only cannot but should not meditate, because it goes into a loop and creates more conflict within and without. So what I love about the Bhagavad Gita is meditation or dhyana, as Dr. Bhola spoke about, which he emphasized a lot about, comes pretty much later on in the journey, in a spiritual journey, as preached by the Bhagavad Gita. You have to start with purification of the body, the mind, and the intellect. And the Bhagavad Gita gives beautiful paths, 3 paths: Karma Yoga, Dhyana Yoga, Bhakti Yoga, to purify to purify the body, purify the mind, and strengthen the intellect. Once that is done, then you come to a natural state of Uparati from the world. Uparati is a prerequisite, absolute prerequisite to meditate. Because what is it that disturbs us during meditation? It's all our desires and all our thoughts running towards the world. So it's very important to come to that withdrawal from the world, which comes naturally if you've done these parts right. After that, you come to a general dharana, which is a general concentration. Right now, because of the internet influx, we are just bombarded with so many inputs at one time. We are multitasking. It is impossible to stabilize the mind and to focus. So once we develop general dharana, to focus on one thing at a time, the last stage is dhyana. So it all begins with your individual self. And what a beautiful question you asked is, how does collective meditation come into the picture then? That can only come when many, many such individuals who have worked inside out on themselves come together and empower a collective thought, which is way more powerful than an individual thought, to influence the collective.
Thank you very much. Avanti ji, she mentioned about the importance of Karma Yoga, Jnana Yoga, Bhakti Yoga, mentioned in Gita to develop Uprati, and then it in turn help us to develop Dharana, leads to Dhyana. Nitin ji, you are a world-known expert of Ayurveda. I'm sure the way Indic wisdom is integrated, Vedas, Ayurveda, and Vedanta, everything, every tradition has a great importance for meditation. So how does Ayurveda takes on meditation? What are different aspects of it? Would you like to throw light upon how meditation contributes into our well-being, and angle from Ayurveda's aspect? You may need to unmute. Thank you.
So, namaste to everyone. Greetings from Greater Noida and in India. So, before I come to the Ayurvedic aspect of that, with the topic today, with the power of the collective consciousness on healing. So, yeah, this is a very proven fact that when we talk about collective consciousness, it basically refers to like a shared way of thinking among human beings in the pursuit of any knowledge that we want. And definitely it brings a kind of an understanding between the relationships between the self and the society. So collective or group meditation, what we call, is definitely much more powerful than individual meditation, which we all know. We definitely recommend in Ayurveda that it has a lot of health benefits, directly health benefits, especially bringing coordination between mind, body, and consciousness, especially just healing our emotional well-being, our mental well-being, and that brings, of course, an effect on our physical well-being. A lot of diseases, especially like high blood pressure, stress management, insomnia, even diabetes, even a lot of these autoimmune disorders are a result of continued stress in life, which most of us do not even realize that we are living under stress, because in our consciousness, we think that only if there is something negative happening in our life, then we feel stressed. Otherwise, we think that everything is good, but it is not. But what is more powerful is the collective meditation, which brings kind of a coherent force all over. And there are ample studies to prove that once the whole group is meditating, it creates a coherence force which affects the society. And in all my lectures in Ayurveda all over the world, when I speak about that, I said that if we have to bring health and peace in the world, then definitely we need to meditate as an individual, Because if our individual consciousness is uplifted, then we can uplift the consciousness of our family. With the family's consciousness uplifted, you can enhance the consciousness of your locality or the society you live in or you roam in. And with that aspect, you can definitely relieve the consciousness of your city or country and the whole world in that sense. So I think this is the power of what we call collective meditation. And it is always very important in Ayurveda, yes. It's been an integral part of that, yes.
Thank you very much, Nitinji. As you mentioned, that one should start with self, leads to family, and leads to society, and that creates a great coherence force. Bholanathji, you mentioned about Sukshma Veda. You said reading Veda, and then you said being Veda, Anahat Nad. Let the Vedas vibrate in you. Let it become your being. So, how does it happen collectively? Like now, we are going into the second phase of our discussion. After understanding its importance individually, we are now will be more focusing on how meditation collectively contributes in making a better society. So, how does it function collectively? What Nath Sampradaya talks about it.
Yeah, Nasampada, as Dr. Nitin just said, like, if we do the collectively, then it brings together, and the one aura touches to the other aura, especially the man and woman together. It works very, very much. I realize myself also when I do the meditation with the other people. And in Anatha Sampradaya, meditation is, yoga is the more important for them, actually. They exist for the yoga only. And through the meditation, we spread our aura or energy to the whole universe, and that brings the peace in everyone. I think we think like that. So, what is the Sukshma Veda? Sukshma Veda means when you do like this, the sound comes. So that goes ahata. Like when you talk, when you speaking Veda, like it means the ahata Veda. When you say the ana without any touching, without any sound, without any thinking, when that anahata Veda comes, which spreads everywhere. So the Nada people, they work for the anahada nada, and they work for that, and they do meditation for that only, and without any, because thing is nowadays they have been said about the what God is, like klesha karma vipaka sai aparamishta purusha vishesha ishvara, so many description about the God. But Nath says no any description. So he said alakha niranjana. Alakha means alaksha. It doesn't exist, or exist but doesn't exist for you, but we do not know. And Niranjana, he said Ranjana Rahita. So he do not have any Ranjan, any happiness, sad, or anything, food, or any greed, or anything doesn't need. So that is Alak Niranjan. And that is Anahada. So to get that through the meditation, only you can do the go into the Samadhi or go into the hymn. So that's why. And we found, especially when we do the collectively, it works more than the individually. People go to the Himalayas, they do in the Himalayas alone also, but they're in Himalayas already, their coherence already there, like spirit there already. That's why they get there. I think.
Thank you very much, Bholanathji. As you mentioned that unstruck sounds, whenever there is a friction, it creates a sound, but a sound that creates without any friction, unstruck sound. And you mentioned that is what Alakh Niranjan, which helps us to be in Samatvam Niranjan. So, adding to that, Adriji, you mentioned about how we work on reducing inner warming, and it will lead to elimination of the global warming. So, you said how we purify inside, it leads to the purification outside also. Are there some scientific evidences or some researches or some art and science behind this collective meditation you would like to bring to home? Adriji, if you can listen to me. Are there some, Adriji, question is to you. Are there some scientific evidences that, or some research-based evidences, or some experimental evidences which talks about that how collective meditation has contributed in overall well-being?
You see, today we have I- Indian gurus went to the West, and a lot of people they follow them, and they understood the essence of yoga, that the spirituality of yoga, how important to preserve the happiness and spread the happiness, that makes the world in a better stage. That not only make the world in a better stage, but also it take care of your physical body, mental body, your energy body, your emotional body, yourself. That's how we change the world through the yoga.
You're muted. You're muted.
Did you hear me from the beginning or
Yeah.
not?
No, I heard about yoga impacts on different bodies, different shields.
Yeah. So yoga impact the different body and different seats. So that's how uh, we, if we think positive, we keep ourselves into a very purification like stage, and we are spreading the knowledge of yoga. You see, main important thing is collective meditation, or whatever you do the meditations, we it should be reflect in our behavior and actions. So in the Raj Yoga, the Yama and Niyama, the practice of Yama and Niyama, the philosophy of Yama and Niyama, the way already the gurus, the Indian gurus already spread to the West, and people has been changing. And they are doing also collectively, sometimes they do full moon meditation on the particular dates worldwide. That is bringing, attracting people to change the world. So now people are more into how to live happily. They are trying to come back from the material world to the spiritual world, and that's how the society is right now growing. The Indian philosophy is helping the Western. That's where we need
Mhm.
to bring the basic things also. If you mentally creating violence, emotionally you are creating violence, and you are talking about meditation, it's not going to work. We have to do the
Mhm.
basic works.
Thank you.
Practice of non-violence, practice of yama and niyama, that also put our consciousness into a different level, different stage, where we can feel it, we can spread the peace, the positivity, the sattva, and also people can feel it, and
Thank,
collectively we can sit together and we can change the world.
thank you.
So
Thank
there
you,
will be
Adrishi.
no war, there will be no hatred, no terrorism, nothing. So
Thank you
it's
very much, Adrishi.
very
Yeah.
important to
He
bring it.
gave emphasis to yamas and niyamas and hum badlenge, yug badlega, we change, the world will change. Avanti ji, you mentioned about that once we are purified by karma, gyan and bhakti yoga, we get uprati, then we meditate. We received a question in our WhatsApp group right now. It says, when we withdraw, we meditate, or when we meditate, we withdraw? What comes first?
Through my life experience, it is a cycle, it's a bicycle with two wheels. So you meditate a little, but you realize that you can't really meditate because your mind is filled with desires, filled with thoughts. So you understand whatever 1 second of meditation bliss you get, and you go back into the world. And then you try to implement that 1% of meditation bliss that you've got into the world, and then come back again. So you have to do it simultaneously. But according to my understanding of the Bhagavad Gita, unless the withdrawal happens, unless you are able to take your mind away from the world, unless you're able to take extroversion into introversion, meditation to understand the self is not possible. Visualization is possible because you are thinking of different things than you usually think. But meditation, to meditate upon the self and manifest the self from within, requires quite a bit of withdrawal. And it's the same thing. It's the same thing in the Patanjali Yoga Sutras. If you look at the 8 limbs, just yamas, exactly as Dr. Bhola I think Dr. Adrish just said, the yamas, the niyamas, the asanas, the pranayama, the pratyahara. Then after that comes dhyana, samadhi. So if you look at it, withdrawal is a necessity first.
Perfect. Thank you. Thank you very much. Nitinji, you mentioned in our last conversation that how group meditation impacts better than individual meditation. So, what will be your suggestion for the audience who are watching us? From where should we begin?
Okay, of course, we have to, of course, believe in meditation. So it has to start from yourself. It's like single meditation or whatever. But why I mentioned collective meditation or group meditation, that it is basically like a set of shared beliefs, like ideas or moral attitudes, which operates as a unifying force within the society. So this is the most important thing. Like for example, we have a lot of discontent, discoordination in the society. People think totally opposite. Some people don't even want to follow the law. So, but then how you bring everyone in a more coherent way so that peace can be brought in. So this is the way that once you start meditating, I think the power of the collective consciousness definitely starts its effect and a healing effect on those people also. Because when you watch them, people who are very disconnected to the society, even when they are watching you, they feel this aura on your face, what we call ojas in Ayurveda. This aura of the collective consciousness is very visible, and when you come to certain places, you meet certain people, you get an automatic connect with them, or you get a lot of positive vibes with them, and that is the power of meditation. A lot of people mostly think physical, that somebody should be very well dressed or should be beautiful or handsome like that, but that is not true. The actual positivity or the vibes or the aura or the bliss, what you feel with someone's presence, is felt through the consciousness level. And that is what Ayurveda has been talking about, that is what Vedas has been talking about, that and this is the power of collective consciousness and meditation. So we do that. We have several examples like that. When we have patients or even our team meditating separately, then it does not reflect that much. Yes, if somebody is very, very honest and very determined, then you can feel the power of meditation in their physiology. But when you are collectively doing it, then we realize that even very small discontent, कि तुमने मेरा ये काम नहीं सुना, तुमने मेरी वो बात नहीं सुनी. Even the very small things also get solved by itself, because people feel that there is a positivity behind this person. So I think it has an effect. It has to be mapped, and there are several studies which has done that. So I think this is a very important topic for global healing, and what you mentioned in your.
Thank you. Thank you, Agrawalji. As you mentioned that it changes the aura, it changes the vibrations that you disseminate, and
Yes.
vibration has its own language and it connects people together and it leads to global unification.
Yes.
Ulanaji, now we are entering into the last round. Every speaker will have exactly around 1.5 minutes. In this, we would like to tell to our audience who are not much exposed to yoga and meditation what practical tips you would like to give them, which they would like to take it from today itself. Like the moment this panel discussion is over, if I want to start doing something about meditation or yoga, what should I exactly do? So please tell us about the verbs now, not nouns. So every person, every respected guest will have 1.5 minutes to tell us about what is to be done. Over to you, Bholanath.
Thank you very much. आसने समस्तेभ्यो द्वयमेवा विशिष्यते एकम सिद्धासनम प्रोक्तम द्वितीयम कमलासनम. There are two asanas are very important. One is lotus asana, other is siddhasana, because these two asanas brings us to the meditation actually. So when you do the meditation, don't expect anything. Don't try something. Just close your eyes gently, which is not much pressing, and try to stretch. Stretch yourself. If it doesn't, don't worry. So just first, you just give up all the sound and all the difficulties, sitting difficulties, whichever around you. Then forget that. Ignore that, and just to keep eyes closing and don't expect anything. Oh, I didn't do meditation today. Oh, I tried, but it didn't happen. No problem. Just you try only. And the thing is, I especially do the Sakshi Dhyana, especially. I found much easier. So let to come something, whichever informations are coming, all the thoughts are coming, bad or good effect, like coming, and you feel sometimes guilty and you feel yourself very arrogant or something like that. Forget that. Bring them, let them to come in, and they will go automatically. Once they go automatically, just put your mind somewhere, like in the Brukuti or Nasagra or wherever, or navel, or whichever place you feel, or make something like around you, like in front of you, something in the cloud eyes. So just be in there without expecting anything. Once you feel I'm in meditating now, I'm in there, then bring that power to in the whole body, and you can cleanse yourself with the meditation. Yeah, you can, whatever the problem you have got, you can cleanse that also. But be there. So that is I found the meditation.
Thank you very
And
much,
yeah,
Bholanathji.
thank you very much.
Siddhasan, Kamlashan, and Sakshi Bhav you mentioned. We'll go to, thank you, and we'll go to Adrishji. Any quick 2 tips in minimum words? No. Please unmute and speak.
Well, I will add few things that Dr. Bholanathji said, that either Padmasana or Siddhasan, that's wonderful practice to be in the meditation practice. Also, sometimes people cannot able to sit nowadays. So I will recommend that for them, those who cannot sit, Yoga Nidra is one of the best practice, and it is a Pratyahara practice, and that can be lead towards controlling the senses, withdrawal the senses, and towards more meditation practice. A second practice I will recommend, what Dr. Saab said, that you can sit in either Siddhasan and or Siddha Yoniasana or Padmasana, whatever, and you just simply made the body still and bring the awareness to the nostrils, and as a drashta, as a saksi, as a seer, witness, you observe the natural flow of the breath. That also develop more concentration, more awareness to yourself, and that is like the preliminary, the first step towards meditation. And
Thank you.
then
Thank you.
slowly you can achieve. Thank you.
So kind of you. Thank you very much, Adrishji. Avantiji, quick tips that you would like to give. If you would like to talk about collective meditation, individual, whatever, you can give that tips.
In your very short time, I try to cover both, but very basic, simple tips. As Dr. Adrish began this session with, watch your inputs. So take good nutrition, hydrate well, sleep early, wake up early, tune into the Brahma Muhurta, where meditation is so easy to do. Exercise, so all the pranas are moving properly in your body. After you do all of that for yourself, please take up the study of the Bhagavad Gita, because it will show you exactly where you are. It will show you where you have to get to, and according to your individual Prakriti Swabhava, it will guide you step by step on how to get there. Take up the study of Bhagavad Gita, and most importantly, we are talking about collective meditation. We are talking about a shared view. We are talking about a common goal, which is world peace. So please tune in to the Loka Samastha Sukhino Bhavantu. And you are not praying for others, because amongst that Loka, you yourself exist. So when you are praying for the collective, you are praying for your own peace and your own well-being. So Loka Samastha Sukhino Bhavantu, above everything else. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Avantiji. So nicely mentioned about importance of what you eat, and you watch your inputs. Nitin Agrawalji, any quick tips you would like to give to our audience for individual or collective meditation?
Yes, so of course there are many techniques you can call transcendental meditation. You have Sudarshan Kriya, you have Ish Kriya, you have Bhakti meditation. But as you asked Vikrantji, that okay, we after this program, I want to do a meditation, or any person who knew nothing about meditation, they just want to do something. They are upset, they are angry, they are stressed, nothing doing what you do, just sit in your bedroom, in your sofa, in whichever way you do that. Close your eyes, focus on your breath, and जिसको भी अपना इष्ट मानते हैं, चाहे वो ओम नमः शिवाय का मंत्र हो, हनुमान जी का मंत्र हो, दुर्गा जी का मंत्र हो, whoever you feel that, जिनको भी इष्ट मानते हैं, उनको thoughts में उनका जाप कीजिए, not by chanting the mantra, but just in the thoughts. What will happen, that lot of negative things will come. आज ये काम नहीं किया, उसने ऐसे मुझे बोल दिया था, I should have said this, I should have that. But let all the negative thoughts get digested and go away. And then you will realize that slowly with this practice, you will realize that the power of positivity will start coming into your consciousness. And that is how you will start feeling the power of meditation. 1-2 days will not give you, there's नहीं तो पता नहीं क्या क्या दुनिया भर में दिमाग में घूम रहा है. But if you practice it regularly in a very basic way, sitting on your chair in your office, in your bedroom, wherever you want to sit, you just do it in that way. And for a common person, if they start doing that, I'm pretty sure that they will create a group eventually and start doing collective meditation also.
Thank you very much, Nitin Agrawal ji. So, dear friends watching us from different parts of the planet, we had this discussion on collective impact of collective meditation. Bholanath ji mentioned about dhyana is about reality. In samsara, we get memory. Memory brings lot of junk to it, and to purify it is called dhyana. And dhyanam nirvishayam manah, making it nirvishaya. And the best part is making it anahada, without unstruck sound. And for that unstruck sound makes us Sukshma Veda. We ourselves become Veda, being Veda ourselves. And for that, he said, go for that leads us to Alakh Niranjan. Alakh means Nirguna, Anahada, and Niranjan means Samatvam, that brings you to an equipoised state of mind. For that, he suggested start with Siddhasana or Kamlasana. Don't expect anything. This is what we want to learn. Expectation leads to misery. Don't expect anything. Have patience. Ignore all the disturbances and go for Sakshi Bhava Dhyana. Just observe your thoughts. They will come and go, and focus on Bhrumadhya, as our friend Bholanath ji mentioned. Then we had Adri ji. He said that mind is a subtle part of our being. Maintain purity of ahar and vihara. Reflect on mind, because body represents this universe. It will clear inner warming, it will clear global warming too. So we work on the DNA. He said that when you become peaceful, even that peace will reach to others also. Like doctor's son would like to be doctor, peaceful person's son would become peaceful. He said that yoga leads to 5 koshas purification. Hum badlenge, jag badlega. He gave importance to the discipline of life called yamas and niyamas. And he said that on a particular date, particular time, when people collectively meditate, it really creates an impact to create a world without war. Start with Padmasana, Siddhasana, go for Yog Nidya, Pratyahara, and focus on your nostril and be Sakshi of your breath. Avanti ji said that conflicting mind cannot and should not meditate. So purify your body and intellect. Body, mind, intellect by Karma Yoga, Jnana Yoga, and Bhakti Yoga. Develop Uparati, withdrawal from the world, and then you start meditation. And gradually, when you start meditation, then it will create general dharana, and that leads to dhyana. And then go for collective meditation, that will have that impact. It's like bicycle. You withdraw, it will help you in meditation. You meditate, it will help you in withdrawing. But initially, if there is a lot of clutter, you can visualize, but you can't meditate on yourself without uparati. She suggested that watch your inputs for that, what you are eating, how you are sleeping, what time are you meditating, exercise, to study Bhagavad Gita. It will take you from your Swabhava Prakriti towards the highest level of elevation. And always remember, Loka Samasta Sukhina Bhavantu. This is the best way to nourish the world around. Nitin ji said that collective consciousness, shared thinking has created greater impact than individual meditation. And we don't realize at times we are in stress, but these meditation creates a cohesive force. First do individually, then to family, then for the family. So that then by doing this, you become a role model. You create a ojas. Your aura impacts others. And for that, you should start, because the vibrations that we create, it connects us to others people, and collective meditation creates those vibrations. To start with, you may like to go for transcendental meditation, Sudarshan Kriya, Isha Kriya, but then he said, sit, take deep breath, and focus on your Ishta Devata, who will help you to bring your best within, and go for the Manas Jap of Ishta Devata. In your mind of the mind, focus what is highest in you, and that will invoke higher in us. So we are sure that while watching this, there will be many people who will be inspired to meditate. I would like to thank you, Avanti ji. I would like to thank you, Dr. Adrish, Dr. Bholanath ji, Dr. Nitin ji, from different parts of the world, taking us time for us today. Thank you very much, Pranam. And may I request you to stay back for a minute. We would like to together invite our next guest, our very dear Kothari ji will be here. So just stay backstage for a minute and then we'll begin. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Vikrant, for organizing this
We are
wonderful.
honored to present Dr. Atul Kothari, a visionary leader and the National Secretary of Siksha Sanskriti Utthan Nyas, New Delhi. His deep connection with numerous universities and educational institutions across India highlights his expertise in a wide range of educational subjects. As a patron of the Indian Language Forum and Indian Language Campaign, he campaigns the promotion of Indian languages and holistic education. His contributions are vast. He has founded Siksha Swasthya Nyas and Dakshina Foundation and has guided over 200 seminars on the National Education Policy 2020. His notable publications include National Education Policy 2020, Revival of India, Higher Education, Indian Perspective, and Atal Bihari Vajpayee Education Dialogue. A frequent keynote speaker, he has represented India at global forums including the World Religion Conference in the USA and the World Hindi Conference. He has also been honored with prestigious awards including the Pandit Madan Mohan Malviya Award. Dr. Kothari's unwavering commitment to the transformative power of education continues to inspire many across the nations. So, ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together to welcome Dr. Atul Kothari.
Bhai Sahab, namaste.
Namaste, Vikrant ji.
We welcome you from different parts of the world. We have Avanti ji over here welcoming you from Singapore. We have our friend Dr. Nitin Agrawal ji welcoming you from Noida. We have Bholanath Yogi ji welcoming you from Nepal. And we have our friend Adrish ji welcoming you from Thailand.
प्रारंभ करें?
बहुत अच्छा, बहुत स्वागत है।
शुरू करें मैंने कहा?
ठीक है, स्वागत है आपका। And dear friends, Dr. Kothari is going to talk about 5 koshas which interest all of us. So thank you very much, Bhai sir. Over to you.
मित्र डॉक्टर और सभी विद्वान वक्तागण, सभी को मेरा सादर नमस्कार। आज जो मुख्य विषय है, अभी जिसकी चर्चा आप भी लोग कर रहे थे कि भारतीय नॉलेज सिस्टम पर ही चर्चा ये केंद्रित है। तो भारतीय नॉलेज सिस्टम एजुकेशन में कैसे इनको रिफ्लेक्ट करना चाहिए, इनकलकेट करना चाहिए, इस विषय पर हम लोग काम करते हैं। और जो आज वर्ल्ड लेवल पर जो प्रॉब्लम्स है, समस्याएं है, चैलेंजेस है, वो निर्माण करने वाले आखिरी में मनुष्य है। तो मनुष्य का प्रॉब्लम कब क्रिएट करता है मनुष्य? इसका मेन रीजन है कि इनका प्रॉपरली डेवलपमेंट जब नहीं होता है, इनका योग्य विकास नहीं होता है, सर्वांगीण विकास अगर नहीं होता है, तब वो मनुष्य समस्या बनता है, तब वो प्रॉब्लम क्रिएट करने लगता है। और इससे वो फैमिली प्रॉब्लम हो, पर्सनल प्रॉब्लम हो, सोसाइटी का हो, या तो वर्ल्ड लेवल के प्रॉब्लम हो। तो प्रॉब्लम का सॉल्यूशन भी मनुष्य करता है, प्रॉब्लम क्रिएट भी मनुष्य करता है। तो ये प्रॉपर डेवलपमेंट, ओवरऑल डेवलपमेंट, होलिस्टिक डेवलपमेंट, सर्वांगीण विकास कैसे हो मनुष्य का, इसका भारतीय परंपरा में, भारतीय ट्रेडिशन में, भारतीय नॉलेज में 3 प्रकार के कॉन्सेप्ट जो मेरे नॉलेज में है वो है। एक अष्टांग योग की संकल्पना है, एक हमारे शरीर में चक्र होते हैं, कोई 6 कहते हैं, कोई 7 कहते हैं, कोई 8 चक्र कहते हैं, लेकिन वो चक्र भी एक डेवलपमेंट का बड़ा माध्यम होता है। और तीसरा महत्वपूर्ण माध्यम से जिसकी आज चर्चा में करने वाला हूं, वो है पंचकोश। तो तैतृय उपनिषद में पंचकोश की संकल्पना दी गई है, 5 कोशास। तो 5 कोश जो है, ये पहला है अन्नमय कोश, यानी फिजिकल डेवलपमेंट। दूसरा है प्राणमय कोश, यानी प्राण का कोई इंग्लिश वर्ड है नहीं, इसलिए मैं प्राणों का ही डेवलपमेंट आपको कहता हूं। तीसरा है मनोमय कोश, यानी मेंटली डेवलपमेंट। चौथा है विज्ञानमय कोश, यानी इंटेलेक्चुअल डेवलपमेंट। और पांचवा है आनंदमय कोश, यानी स्पिरिचुअली डेवलपमेंट। ये 5 कोशा से मनुष्य का व्यक्तित्व का सर्वांगीण विकास होता है। व्यक्तित्व की जब बात करते हैं, इंग्लिश में शब्द पर्सनालिटी है, लेकिन व्यक्तित्व जो शब्द है, क्यों व्यक्ति शब्द है? जो मनुष्य है, वो प्राणियों में मनुष्य एक ऐसा जीव है कि वो अपने आप को बहुत अच्छा व्यक्त कर पाते हैं। सबसे ज्यादा व्यक्त मनुष्य करता है अपने आप को अच्छी तरह से, तो इसलिए मनुष्य को व्यक्ति कहा गया। और व्यक्ति की भाववाचक संज्ञा व्यक्तित्व है, और ये व्यक्तित्व जो है उसके विकास की डेवलपमेंट की मूल बात है। तो मनुष्य का डेवलपमेंट करना है, हमने अपना डेवलपमेंट करना है, तो पहले अपने आप को समझना पड़ेगा कि हु एम आई, मैं कौन हूं, मेरा बॉडी क्या है, मेरा बॉडी की सिस्टम क्या है। तो ये जो अन्नमय कोश है, वो अन्नमय इसलिए कहा गया है कि अन्न से ही शरीर बनता है, बॉडी बनता है, इसलिए अन्नमय कोश से शारीरिक विकास, फिजिकल डेवलपमेंट की बात कही गई। तो हमारे शरीर के 2 प्रकार के पार्ट कह सकते हैं, एक बाह्य शरीर, एक आंतरिक शरीर। यानी जो दिखता है, हाथ पैर नाक आंख ये सब दिखता है, वो बाह्य शरीर है। और जो दिखता नहीं है, हमारा पाचन तंत्र की सिस्टम है, श्वसन तंत्र है, रुधिराभिसरण तंत्र है, हार्ट है, किडनी है, आदि आदि, अंदर हजारों लाखों नलिकाएं है शरीर में। तो ये दोनों के डेवलपमेंट की बात होनी चाहिए। तो ये फिजिकल डेवलपमेंट के 2 पार्ट है मुख्य, और इनके डेवलपमेंट तो जो हमारा बॉडी है, तो हमारा बॉडी है क्या, उसके अंग उपांग क्या है, उसकी रचना क्या है, उसके कार्य क्या है, उसकी वर्किंग सिस्टम कार्य पद्धति क्या है, और इनकी कैसे देखभाल की जाता है, उनका कैसे स्वस्थ रखा जा सकता है, ये अन्नमय कोश के विकास की बात है। तो शरीर कैसा होना चाहिए? तो स्वस्थ शब्द का बहुत व्यापक अर्थ है, इसमें अभी नहीं जाऊंगा समय के अभाव से, लेकिन स्वस्थ शरीर होना चाहिए, यानी निरामय हो, बलवान हो, सहनशील हो, ओजपूर्ण हो, लोचपूर्ण हो, सुडोल हो। ये इस प्रकार का जब शरीर होता है, ये इनके विकास की पहचान है। और अन्नमय कोश के विकास के लिए मुख्यतः कुछ जो प्रमुख बातें हैं, अन्नमय कोश के विकास के कारक तत्व जिसको कहते हैं, पहला है भोजन। आज सबसे हमारे भारत में तो ऐसा कहा जाता है कि भोजन यानी किचन है, वो हमारा एक प्रकार से चिकित्सालय है, हेल्थ सेंटर एक प्रकार से, ऐसा था हमारी परंपरा में, लेकिन आज वो भी हमारे यहाँ भी चेंज हो रहा है। तो भोजन बहुत इंपैक्ट करता है बॉडी पर। फिर है व्यायाम, एक्सरसाइज, स्पोर्ट्स, स्लीपिंग, निंद्रा, क्लीनिनेस और एनवायरनमेंट, ये सारा बॉडी को इफेक्ट करता है। कहते हैं शरीर माध्यम खलु धर्म साधनम, अर्थात शरीर हमारे कर्तव्य पालन करने का, हमें जो भी करना है इस दुनिया में हमको, इसका माध्यम तो शरीर ही है। तो इसलिए बॉडी का प्रॉपर डेवलपमेंट, ये पूरा कॉन्सेप्ट है इसका। दूसरी बात है प्राणमय कोश, यानी प्राणों का डेवलपमेंट, जिसको ब्रीथिंग भी कहते हैं अंग्रेजी में थोड़ा सा। तो शरीर कितना भी ब्यूटीफुल हो, हैंडसम हो, हेल्दी हो, लेकिन अगर प्राण निकल गए तो शरीर से तो कुछ नहीं रहता है शरीर का। तो प्राणों का विकास, इन प्राण के 4 आवयव हैं, आहार, निद्रा, भय, मैथुन। और प्राणों के विकास के लिए शुद्ध वायु की जरूरत होती है, प्रॉपर श्वसन प्रक्रिया, ब्रीथिंग की प्रॉपर सिस्टम होनी चाहिए, और चेता तंत्र हमारे होते हैं, उनकी भी शुद्धि आवश्यक है। और प्राणों के डेवलपमेंट विकास के लिए सबसे श्रेष्ठ माध्यम है प्राणायाम। तो प्राण असंतुलित कब होता है, इम्बैलेंस कब होता है प्राण का? तो इसके 3-4 मेन कारण है, रीजन है। एक तो गलत आदतें, बैड हैबिट से हमारा इम्बैलेंस होता है प्राणों का। दूसरा है हेल्थ खराब होता है, तब होता है। और तीसरा है कोई भी कार्य है वो अतिरेकी होता है, तब वो इम्बैलेंस होता है। तो ये प्राणों के मय के कोष की दृष्टि से, प्राणमय कोष के डेवलपमेंट की दृष्टि से क्या नहीं करना, क्या करना, दोनों बात इसमें। थर्ड कोष है मनोमय कोष, यानी मन का विकास, मेंटली डेवलपमेंट। सबसे ये महत्वपूर्ण मन है हमारा। वो मन है चंचल है, भटकता रहता है, अशांत है, तनावग्रस्त है। आज दुनिया का सबसे बड़ा मनुष्य समाज के लिए ये प्रॉब्लम है। तो मन का विकास कैसे होना चाहते हैं? मन जो है, मन क्या है वो पहले उनको समझना पड़ेगा। मन की गति, स्पीड इतनी ज्यादा है कि मैं अभी यहाँ उदयपुर भारत में बैठा हूं, लेकिन अगर मेरे रिलेटिव को ये जापान में है तो 1 सेकंड भी मन को पहुंचने में वहां लगता है? नहीं लगता है। तो मन की गति बहुत ज्यादा है, स्पीड बहुत ज्यादा है मन की। और मन विचार भी करता है और इच्छा भी करता है मन। उसमें मन के भाव होते हैं। भाव ये पॉजिटिव सेंस है, स्नेह, प्रेम, आत्मीयता, दया, करुणा आदि। मन में विकार होता है, ये नेगेटिव भाव, कि लोभ, मोह, मद, मत्सर, काम, क्रोध आदि। तो मन की अवस्था जो है, मन का और शरीर का बहुत आंतरिक संबंध है। जब मन खराब होता है तो आदमी को बीमार हो जाता है। जब शरीर खराब होता है, हेल्थ खराब होता है, तब मन खराब होता है। तो ये दोनों एक सिक्के की दो बाजू जैसा है। तो मन का डेवलपमेंट, यानी मन को एकाग्र करना, शांत करना, मन को तनाव से मुक्त करना, ये मन का विकास है। मन को पॉजिटिव करना, मन में जो एक आसक्तियां रहती है तो अनासक्ति मन में आए। अनासक्ति, आसक्ति, अनासक्ति योग पर गीता में बहुत एक पूरा अध्याय है, बहुत अच्छा है, पढ़ने लायक है वो। तो इस प्रकार को मन को शांत करने के लिए उनके मुख्य तत्व कारक क्या है, प्रैक्टिकली क्या करना है? तो संगीत है। संगीत मन को बहुत शांत करता है। फिर स्वाध्याय है, सेवा है, संयम है, सत्संग है। ये 5 एस है सब। ये मन के विकास के लिए बहुत ही यूजफुल कारक तत्व है। तो बच्चों को और जिनके मन को ठीक रखना है, उनके जीवन में ये 5 बातें करनी चाहिए। चौथा कोष है विज्ञानमय कोष, यानी बौद्धिक विकास, इंटेलेक्चुअल डेवलपमेंट की बात है। तो ये मूल शब्द तो ज्ञान शब्द है। विशिष्ट ज्ञान होता है जो, उससे विज्ञान शब्द बना है। जैसे एक गिलास में पानी होता है तो ये जानते हैं कि पानी है, लेकिन ये कैसा पानी है, शुद्ध पानी है, मिनरल वाटर से, वो विज्ञान हो गया। तो ये जो विज्ञानमय कोष है, वैसे तो इनके जो बुद्धि का जो काम है, हमारी बुद्धि का, वो है निरीक्षण करना, परीक्षण करना, संश्लेषण करना, विश्लेषण करना, तर्क लगाना, अनुमान करना, और उसके आधार पर फिर कोई भी निर्णय, डिसीजन लेना। ये बहुत साइंटिफिक मेथोडोलॉजी है कि मन का मुख्य काम क्या है, डिसीजन, बुद्धि का मुख्य काम क्या है, डिसीजन लेना, निर्णय करना। हर व्यक्ति को हर क्षण निर्णय करने पड़ते हैं। तो वो डिसीजन, निर्णय करेक्ट करे। अगर कोई गलती हो गई तो उसको भी करेक्ट करने की कैपेसिटी उसमें हो। इस प्रकार का डेवलपमेंट होना चाहिए स्टूडेंट्स का। तो आज सबसे बड़ी प्रॉब्लम दुनिया की ये है कि मनुष्य कोई गलती करता है तो इसका रिएक्शन कई बार ऐसा आता है कि सुसाइड करने तक चला जाता है मनुष्य। तो ये जो डिसीजन मेकिंग है, ये कई बार इंटेलेक्चुअल डेवलपमेंट, यानी पीएचडी कर लिया यानी इंटेलेक्चुअल हो गया, 4 किताबें लिख ली इंटेलेक्चुअल हो गया, आदि आदि बातें हम कहते हैं, वो एक पार्ट है। लेकिन मेन उसका जो बेस है, वो डिसीजन मेकिंग सिस्टम उसमें बराबर डेवलप हो जाए तो वो फिर सब कर लेगा, बाकी सब बैलेंस कर लेगा। और दूसरा है कि विज्ञान तो हम पढ़ाते हैं बच्चों को, लेकिन वैज्ञानिक दृष्टि का विकास होता है क्या? साइंस तो पढ़ाता है, लेकिन साइंटिफिक टेम्पर बन रहा है क्या? तो यस में उत्तर देना मुश्किल है। नहीं तो हम जंक फूड, फास्ट फूड, साथ में कोल्ड ड्रिंक्स लेकर खाना नहीं खाते होते, क्योंकि वो साइंटिफिक नहीं है। तो बच्चों का साइंटिफिक टेम्परामेंट डेवलप करना चाहिए। फिर बच्चे क्या गलत है, क्या सही है, उसको बताने की जरूरत नहीं पड़ेगी, वो अपने आप समझ जाएगा और उसी के अनुसार अपना लाइफ का पूरा डेवलपमेंट वो करेगा। तो इस प्रकार के दो इंपॉर्टेंट काम है, एक तो डिसीजन मेकिंग और एक साइंटिफिक टेम्पर बने मनुष्य का। ये विज्ञान में कोर्स के बहुत, बाकी तो बहुत सारा डिटेल है, लेकिन अभी शॉर्ट में मैं बता रहा हूँ सिर्फ। और लास्ट है वो आनंदमय कोर्स है। यानी आनंदमय कोर्स शब्द से ही मालूम होता है कि जिससे आनंद प्राप्त हो। इंग्लिश में एक ही शब्द है इसके लिए, हैप्पी, लेकिन भारतीय भाषाओं में बहुत सारे शब्द है। खुशी, मजा, सुख, आनंद, ये सब अलग अलग है, सबका अर्थ अलग है। खुशी, मजा, सुख ये टेम्पररी है, ये एक प्रकार से भौतिक चीज है। मान लो कि मुझे अच्छा लगता है कोई स्वीट और मैंने खाया, तो मैं कहता हूँ बहुत मजा आ गया। लेकिन 1 घंटे के बाद स्वीट का टेस्ट होता है मुंह में? क्या नहीं होता है। तो सुख और दुख ये दोनों एक सिक्के की दो बाजू है। जब मैंने कोई ड्रेस नया सिलाया तो मुझे बड़ा सुख मिला। जब मेरे मित्र कोई मेरे से भी अच्छा ड्रेस हो जाता है, सिलाता है, तब मुझे कष्ट हो जाता, दुख होता है, अगर मैंने भी ऐसा कराया हो तो। लेकिन आनंद है वो चिरंजीवी है, स्थायी है, आंतरिक है। कष्ट में भी आनंद होता है। एक महिला को सबसे ज्यादा कष्ट कब होता है? तो जब बालक को जन्म देती है, तब जन्म देना होता है तब। लेकिन सबसे ज्यादा आनंद भी उसी समय उनको होता है। तो कष्ट में भी आनंद मिलता है। तो आनंद की संक्षिप्त में ये से, तो आनंदमय कोश का विकास यानी आध्यात्मिक विकास। आध्यात्म से तात्पर्य क्या है? आत्मनो मोक्षार्थ जगत हिताय, कि हमारा स्वयं का आत्मा को मोक्ष यानी मुक्ति मिले और दुनिया का, मनुष्यों का, दूसरों का भी हित हो साथ में। ये दोनों दृष्टि है। इसलिए स्वामी विवेकानंद जी ने बहुत सुंदर कहा था, आम समाज समझ सके कि आध्यात्मिकता यानी क्या है। तो निस्वार्थ भाव से कोई भी कार्य करना वो आध्यात्मिकता है। यानी सेवा कार्य, सर्विस एक्टिविटीज करना, ये सब आध्यात्मिकता है। इसलिए भारत में बहुत ट्रेडिशन, परंपरा थी, आज भी कुछ मात्रा में है, कि पक्षियों को दाना डालते हैं, पक्षियों को पानी देने की व्यवस्था रखते हैं, चींटियों का आटा डालते हैं। महिलाएं रोटी बनाती है तो पहली रोटी वो गाय को या कुत्ते को देती है। कुएं में पानी भरने जाते थे तो 2 बाल्टी अपने लिए भरेंगे, 1 बाल्टी गोद में डालेंगे। तो भारत को आध्यात्मिक राष्ट्र क्यों कहा गया? कि कुछ 10-20 हजार संत महंत से सिर्फ आध्यात्मिक राष्ट्र नहीं बनता है। हाँ, उनके मार्गदर्शन से तो ये सब हो रहा है, लेकिन जन जन के रेगुलर डे एक्टिविटीज में हम दूसरे का विचार करते थे कि वो क्यों है। तो जो भारत में कहा है वसुधैव कुटुंबकम, ये सिर्फ थियरी नहीं है, ये सिर्फ कॉन्सेप्ट नहीं है, ये प्रैक्टिकली हमारे लोग करते थे। चींटी भी हमारा परिवार का एक अंग है, पक्षी भी हमारे परिवार का अंग है, पशु भी हमारे परिवार का अंग है। सबका पालन पोषण होना चाहिए, इसलिए हमने चिंता करनी चाहिए। ये भाव, इससे वसुधैव कुटुंबकम हमने कहा है। सिर्फ मनुष्यों की बात नहीं, दुनिया में चाहे अमेरिका में हो, चाहे जापान में हो, चाहे ऑस्ट्रेलिया में हो, सब वो हमारे सब भाई बहन हैं। ये कॉन्सेप्ट है। तो ये एक व्यवहारिक आध्यात्मिकता है। लेकिन उसका थोड़ा गूढ़ जो अर्थ है कि मैं कौन हूं, हु एम आई। भारत में एक एकात्म दृष्टि इसका पर हजारों साल से चिंतन होता रहा कि मैं कौन हूं। ये जब विचार हम करते हैं तो मैं कौन हूं, मेरा इस विश्व से क्या संबंध है, मेरा इस नेचर से क्या रिलेशन है, मेरा इस सृष्टि के क्या रिलेशन है, और ईश्वर से मेरा क्या संबंध है। तो इस प्रकार की सोच विकसित होने से इसका निष्कर्ष ये भारतीय चिंतन में है कि कोई एक तत्व है, कोई ईश्वर कहते हैं, कोई गॉड कहते हैं, कोई भगवान कहते हैं, कोई खुदा कहते हैं। उसी से ये सारी सृष्टि का सृजन हुआ है। तो एक ही पिता है, उसी से हम सबका सृजन हुआ है। तो हम सब एक परिवार के लोग, फिर आपस में संघर्ष की कहां बात आती है। इसलिए भारत में संघर्ष की बात नहीं, समन्वय की बात है हमेशा। तो ये जो कॉन्सेप्ट है, यही आध्यात्मिकता है। इसको एजुकेशन सिस्टम में कैसे लाना, इस पर हमने बहुत काम किया है। सिलेबस में भी इसको लाया है। इसकी डिटेल चर्चा नहीं करूंगा क्योंकि मेरा समय पूरा हो रहा है अभी, इसलिए। तो ये जो आध्यात्मिकता का विकास कैसे होगा, उसके कारक तत्व क्या है, तो बच्चों में या किसी भी मनुष्य में निस्वार्थ भाव अधिक से अधिक निर्माण हो। सेवा कार्य, सर्विस एक्टिविटीज, ये अधिक से अधिक उसमें कैसे निर्माण हो, तो छोटे बच्चे से ये प्रारंभ स्टार्ट करना चाहिए, इनके संस्कार, जिसको हम संस्कार कहते हैं। तो ये एक इंपॉर्टेंट चीज है। दूसरी बात है कि बच्चों में भक्ति भाव, प्रेम भाव, आत्मीयता का भाव, इससे इनकी चित्त शुद्धि होती है। चित्त और आत्मा ये भी दो अलग स्वतंत्र है, लेकिन दोनों काफी जुड़ाव भी है, इसलिए उसको थोड़ा समझना लंबी बात है, अभी इस नहीं हो सकती है। तो इस प्रकार का ये होलिस्टिक डेवलपमेंट का कॉन्सेप्ट है। यानी व्यक्ति, बालक शारीरिक दृष्टि से सबल बने, प्राणिक दृष्टि से उसके प्राण संतुलित, बैलेंस हो, मानसिक दृष्टि से वो सद्विचारी हो, उसके मन में पॉजिटिव थिंकिंग ही होगा, बौद्धिक दृष्टि से, विज्ञानमय कोष की दृष्टि से उनका डेवलपमेंट, साइंटिफिक टेम्पर होगा उनका, और कोई भी डिसीजन अच्छी तरह से करेक्ट डिसीजन लेगा, गलती हो गई तो उसको सुधार कर लेगा। और आत्मिक दृष्टि से, आध्यात्मिक दृष्टि से सेवाभावी होगा, निस्वार्थी होगा। इस प्रकार का अगर पर्सनालिटी का डेवलपमेंट होता है तो कैरेक्टर बिल्डिंग अलग से करने की जरूरत है क्या? यही कैरेक्टर है। तो पर्सनालिटी डेवलपमेंट और कैरेक्टर बिल्डिंग एक सिक्के की दो पहलू है। तो इस प्रकार का व्यक्तित्व का विकास होता है अगर, तो ऐसे व्यक्तित्व वाले व्यक्ति, जो भारतीय, अंतिम एक बात करके पूरी करता हूं मैं, कि जैसे मैंने कहा शुरू में कि भारत, हमारे दृष्टिकोण से शरीर के दो भाग है, स्थूल और सूक्ष्म शरीर। तो ये जो शरीर है वो स्थूल है, दिखता है वो, जिसको फिजिकल डेवलपमेंट की बात हम करते हैं। और प्राण, मन, बुद्धि, आत्मा, ये सूक्ष्म शरीर है, वो दिखता नहीं है। और उनकी मृत्यु भी कभी नहीं होती है। शरीर की मृत्यु होती है, ये चारों तत्व निकलकर दूसरे शरीर धारण कर लेता है। ये भारत में इसलिए पुनर्जन्म की कल्पना है। तो मृत्यु शरीर का होता है, मृत्यु प्राण, मन, बुद्धि, आत्मा का नहीं होता है। तो स्थूल शरीर तो अग्नि को समर्पित कर देते हैं हम, मिट्टी से बना है, वो मिट्टी में मिल जाता है फिर। और फिर पुनर्जन्म की कल्पना इसलिए भारत में है, और उसके साइंटिफिक रीजन और प्रूफ भी है सब। तो ये भारतीय ज्ञान परंपरा में व्यक्तित्व विकास की संकल्पना है। ये भारत के लिए जरूरी नहीं है। भारतीय संकल्पना ऐसे कहते हैं कि भारत में उसका, भारतीय ग्रंथों में इसकी बात शुरुआत हुई इसलिए, लेकिन ये पूरे वर्ल्ड के लिए ये एक बहुत साइंटिफिक कॉन्सेप्ट है। तो इसी दृष्टि से शायद विक्रांत जी ने इस विषय को यहाँ प्रस्तुत करने के लिए मुझे बताया होगा। तो ये विषय प्रस्तुत करने के लिए मैं विक्रांत जी का और इस यूनाइटेड कॉन्शियसनेस से जुड़े सभी का और सभी विद्वान जुड़े हुए वक्ताओं और श्रोताओं का बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद करता हूँ।
भाई साहब, आपको बहुत धन्यवाद कि आपने समय निकाला। करीबन 100 से अधिक देशों के लोग इस पूरे प्रोग्राम से जुड़े हुए हैं, और पिछले 14 तारीख से 22 तारीख तक लगातार अंतर्राष्ट्रीय शांति दिवस का ये उत्सव जारी है। और आपका ये जो संदेश है कि वैश्विक शांति के लिए ये महत्वपूर्ण है कि इंसान स्वयं शारीरिक रूप से सबल, प्राणिक रूप से संतुलित, मानसिक रूप से सद्विचारी, बौद्धिक रूप से सही निर्णय लेने वाला और वैज्ञानिक टेम्परामेंट का, और आत्मिक रूप से सेवाभावी हो, तो निश्चित तौर पे हम वैसा शांत विश्व बना पाएंगे, उल्लास युक्त विश्व बना पाएंगे।
इसलिए विक्रांत जी बहुत सही कहा आपने कि शांति की बात सब कर रहे हैं, लेकिन शांति कैसे होगी? शांति का निर्माण करने वाला या अशांति साध्य करने वाला तो मनुष्य है।
सच बात।
तो मनुष्य का पर्सनालिटी, व्यक्तित्व ऐसा बने कि वो देश और दुनिया में हर जगह शांति का संदेश ले जाए।
On behalf of United Consciousness, I thank Dr. Atul Kothari for coming on to the platform of United.
सॉरी, वो कट गया था भाई साहब जी, आप कुछ बात खत्म कर।
तो मैंने कहा कि ऐसे अगर व्यक्तित्व नहीं बनेंगे तब तक दुनिया में शांति की कितनी भी बात करें हो नहीं सकती।
बिल्कुल सच।
इसलिए भारतीय चिंतन में ये बात को प्रमुखता दी गई है, और इसलिए एजुकेशन का मोटो भी इसको कहा गया है कि मनुष्य के व्यक्तित्व का समग्र विकास, सर्वांगीण विकास, यही शिक्षा का आधारभूत लक्ष्य है, एम ऑफ एजुकेशन है। बहुत
Thank you. Thank you.
On behalf of United Consciousness, I thank Dr. Atul Kothari for coming onto the platform of United Consciousness. Thank you so much. I feel highly pleasured in inviting and introducing our next guest from Mauritius, Brahmakumari, Dr. Sayukta Bhuvan Ramasara. She was Associate Professor at Mahatma Gandhi Institute. She did her studies from Queen Elizabeth College, Mauritius and Banaras Hindu University. Presently, she is teaching Raja Yoga meditation at the Brahmakumari's World Spiritual University, St. Paul. She is providing spiritual and educational services in the countries like Mauritius, India, Kenya, Cameroon, Malaysia, Central African Republic, Thailand, Rwanda, Singapore and many others. She was awarded with Bharat Gaurav Award in 2015 for her services in academic, humanitarian and spiritual field. She presented many research papers on variety of subjects at national and international level, authored few books and published several research-based articles in national and international journals and magazines. Her interest areas include spirituality, education, Indian philosophy, Indian literature, Indian studies, public speaking, teaching, Indian classical music, theatre and stagecraft, writing and yoga. So ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together to welcome Brahmakumari Dr. Sayukta.
Most welcome, Dr. Sayukta. And we are so happy that you took out time for us. Next 13 minutes, we all are there to be guided in a meditation by you. Most welcome.
Om Shanti and Pranam Namaskar to respected brother Vikrant and the whole United Consciousness family. Indeed, it's a great pleasure. आनंद आ रहा है आप सभी से पुनः मिलकर. Really, it's a great family which really gives us this grand feeling, great feeling, blissful feeling of Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, that we are all one family. So today, Dr. Vikrant, Brother Vikrant has specially invited us, the Brahma Kumaris, for a time for meditation. So where Dr. Atul Kothari ji rightly said, peace starts from within. We are the center. We need to be with ourselves and go dive deeper within ourselves, and then only will come with greater gems of wisdom. So, dear brothers and sisters from all the corners of the world, different countries of the world, really we are in a global village through this internet. So I'm very happy to be with you, and I kindly request you all to just be with yourself and let's travel within so that we bring peace within and peace out there, and we build up a better world, a peaceful world. Okay, so I'll request all of my dear brothers and sisters to sit comfortably, relaxed, and let's breathe in 3 times. Breathe in positivity and remove all the negativities and get it dilute in the atmosphere. Okay, so we breathe in 3 times and breathe out. Breathe in and breathe out. Breathe in and breathe out. And now we sit comfortably with our hands on our laps. We may have our eyes open, or if you want, closed, or even half open. And very gradually, we stabilize ourselves in our soul conscious stage. I see myself as a divine light, a shining star in the middle of the forehead. I am a soul. मैं आत्मा हूँ. I am an immortal, imperishable, and eternal soul. अजर अमर अविनाशी आत्मा हूँ. I, the soul, am the master of this body. The eyes see through the soul. The ears listen through the soul. All my physical senses, karmendriya, depend on this soul energy, Atmik Shakti. And the other three faculties of I, the soul, are mind, man, intellect, and my sanskars, impressions. So I, the soul, I create a positive thought in my mind. A positive thought that peace will prevail in the world. Though the world is peaceless now, but my single thought, this one thought, created in this pure mind and supported by the soul energy, will permeate in the whole atmosphere of the world. So I see in front of me a peaceful world. Myself, the soul, I'm 100% at peace with myself, and every cell of my body is Shanti. Peace is my true religion. Shanti मेरा स्वधर्म है. When I say Om Shanti, means I'm a peaceful soul. And when I'm peaceful, I create an atmosphere which is peaceful within this body, within myself. Peace begets peace. शांति से शांति की अनुभूति होती है. And connected with peace, the original dharma of this soul is peace, purity, power, love, truth, knowledge, and bliss, Ananda. So I'm full of these 7 original qualities of Atma. And now I visualize in front of me the Supreme Soul, Paramatma, the divine light, who is the ocean of all these virtues. Parampita Paramatma, God, the Supreme Soul, is the ocean of peace. And He is sending rays of peace to me, the soul. And I'm experiencing a blissful stage where there is only peace and bliss. God, Paramatma, is the ocean of knowledge. ज्ञान के सागर है. And He's showering me with knowledge, the true knowledge. He's my Satguru and opening my third eye of wisdom. The divine light is also the ocean of love, प्यार के सागर. तू प्यार का सागर है, तेरी एक बूंद के प्यासे हम. In this way, I, the soul, am full, am contented. Ichha matram avidya. There is no desire, completely detached, like a lotus. This is the blissful stage where I'm beyond the effect of the world, the influences of the world, the influences of people, and the influence of Prakriti nature. In this blissful stage, connected to the Supreme, I now shower peace, love, and happiness to my brothers and sisters of the world in all the 5 continents. My good wishes and pure feelings and divine vibrations reach out to every soul in the world. At present, all the 8 billion souls are experiencing this blissful peace. And now, I send these rays of peace, still connected to the Supreme, to every element of nature. I send the rays of peace and happiness to water, the element water. I purify the element with these pure vibrations. I vibrate love and peace to the element of water. And water hence finds its original nature of flowing smoothly, of helping humanity. And again, I send these pure wishes and pure feelings, peaceful vibrations of love and harmony to the element of fire, Agni Dev. And I see fire also taking its original nature of harmonizing with human souls, being our friend, our companion together. And further, these divine vibrations reach out to the element of air, Pran Vayu, the very essence of our life. And the air is getting purified and divinized. And now the element of space getting divinized and filled with spiritual power, Brahma Tattva se bharpur. It's getting filled with the element of silence and peace. And lastly, the element of earth. I visualize the planet Earth, Mother Earth, which is getting pure and peaceful. And in this way, I see in front of me the whole universe, including the blue pearl planet Earth, which is transformed from Kali Yuga into Satyug, from Iron Age to Golden Age, where there is only peace, happiness, and abundance. And I'm conscious, I'm preparing myself at this confluence age, which is the end of Kali Yuga and beginning of Satyug. I, the soul, along with the Supreme Soul, who is decorating me with all the virtues and powers, preparing me into Nar se Narayan, Manushya se Devta, from ordinary human being into deity, to shift, to transit into the golden age. So happy World Peace Day to all my brothers and sisters. Om Shanti.
Om Shanti, sister. Thank you very much for leading us through a wonderful meditation. May our collective vibrations reach to millions. Thank you. Om Shanti.
On behalf of United Consciousness, I thank Brahma Kumari Dr. Sayukta Bowen Ramasara for coming onto the platform of United Consciousness. Thank you so much. It's my pleasure to invite and introduce Professor Dr. Sushma Yadav. She is a distinguished academic leader and scholar, currently serving as a member of the University Grants Commission and the Press Council of India. Her extensive career includes her previous role as a Vice Chancellor of Bhagat Phul Singh Mahila Vishwavidyalaya, Sonipat, Haryana, and as Pro-Vice Chancellor of Indira Gandhi National Open University, New Delhi. With over 38 years in academia, Professor Yadav has made significant contributions through her leadership and scholarly work. She has authored or edited over 12 books and published numerous research papers in renowned national and international journals. Recognized for her excellence, she received the Pride of the Nation Excellence Award and the Woman of the Year Award in 2019. Her remarkable achievement and dedication to higher education highlights her commitment to advancing knowledge and supporting academic excellence. So, ladies and gentlemen, please put your
Most welcome, madam. आपका बहुत स्वागत है, and the whole United Consciousness family is eager to listen from you, your guidance, and talk about harnessing the power of youth, awakening the next generation change makers. All stage is yours. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Vikranji. It's such a pleasure. So I can't see the audience, but dear sisters and brothers, it's a universal address which can go on. And let me first compliment the organizers of this United Consciousness or the United Consciousness family, as they say, and all those who are involved in this initiative. I compliment them for the great initiative. It's great because suddenly somehow it becomes very important that we have peace around. We all need peace. It's very timely and very relevant initiative. We live in campuses where peace should be there, campuses where youth is there. And I'm really, really happy that you have chosen the International Day of Peace, and it's a complete week that you have celebrated, and you wish to establish the culture of peace through United Consciousness. It's like I get reminded of what Sister Yogita was just talking, peace within and peace around, and peace is surely within, but we have to go within. And how do we go within in a world where the market dominates, where noise dominates, where consumerism dominates, where you are attracted every moment towards something which may not be as desirable, which may not be as much wanted. And why I say I understand this by living on campuses, and I'm also happy that you have made me part of this by giving me the topic, which is again relevant for my profession also, my role also, which says harnessing the power of youth, awakening the next generation change makers. I'm sure there must be many young people, ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, part of this complete United Consciousness Week. And I would say the peace cannot be purchased. It cannot be a consumable item. So I wish to convey to my dear young brothers and sisters, sons and daughters, whatever we say, to them that peace has to be established. Peace has to be felt. Peace has to be, surrounding us. Peace has to be within. Peace has to be out. I am reminded, and I will end with that also, I'm reminded of our Samapan mantra, or which is called Shanti mantra, in almost every religious activity, almost every yagya or havan that we perform. In the end, we always wish for peace. And we start from outside. Peace in the environment, whatever makes the environment. Peace around us, because then only we can have peace within us. Or it can be the otherwise round. If you have peace within, then you can be at peace and you can feel peace wherever you are. But they have to be both connected, the peace within and peace outside. When we talk about harnessing the youth, youth is always hopeful. Youth is always our hope. Youth is one which is not really pessimistic. They are optimistic. because they look at the future. And India can be really proud and also is privileged to have a very good number of youth. We can say maybe the largest number of youth, the world says us, and that is our demographic power also. Although India never talks about the language of power and doesn't talk in the language of power, it talks in the language of peace and balancing within and outside. However, the youth is attracted, towards what is happening around the world. This power that we have, the power really have to be harnessed. This youth power, as we say, and Swami Vivekananda was an icon of this, whose words are really, really inspiring always, because when he invoked the youth and the world around was Uttishta, Jagrat, Prapya Varan Nibodhyat, that you get up, you rise, you awake within also, awake, and then reach the best or try to get what is the best around you, the shresht which is around you. And that is how the youth must work. That is how their real power will be nurtured and harnessed. And about the universities or educational institutions, Swami Vivekananda always said it is the teacher's duty to get the best out of every child. Every child, every human being. He said every manav has the best within. श्रेष्ठ बनने की क्षमता लगभग सभी व्यक्तियों में होती है. उस श्रेष्ठ को बाहर निकालना यह है उसके गुरु का. और गुरु शब्द भी किसी और संस्कृति में नहीं है. It's something very, very peculiar to our culture. Now, how can we do this? How can we awaken the next generation or the best in them? So I would start with something which is very, very important now. We are talking in the light of National Education Policy 2020, which talks about linking the legacy to the latest, the civilizational ethos to the global ethos, the soul with the Vasudha. So it has to be connected, the entire continents. So these all have to be connected. And when we talk about the youth is lacking somewhere these days. I very rarely found a person who is smiling, who looks happy. Although they're young and they have the entire world on their side, but they look at times gloomy. So I would start with the Panchendriya Kosh, which is our special. I do not know if somebody has talked about it. Even if somebody has talked about it, I'll repeat it. Because for youth, and if youth are there, it is very important they understand it. We are made of Panchabhutas or Panchatatvas, the five elements, which make the entire universe and which make the entire human being also. And these five elements of universe are also connected with the five indriyas that we have, or the powers that we have, the power to feel, the power to speak, the power to breathe, etc., etc. So they are part of it. And I would say, if the youth has to be at peace within, if the youth has to be with at peace with others, they must be able to develop all their aspects of personality. And so the Panchendriya Kosh becomes important. That is five-dimensional development of a person, of an individual, of a man or a woman. I'm not saying man or a woman, of a human being, in fact. All of them need it well. What is this Panchendriya? We start with the basic. The basic is the body or the physical well-being, which is most important because we are till we are. We are till we are in this body, because basically our identity in this world is this body which is with us. So the first is Annamaya Kosh. How do we keep it well? We must eat well. We must eat the right kind of food. The right kind of food is as natural and as organic as possible, which nature gives us. So it should be taken as pure as possible. And because if we take the right kind of grain, the right kind of food, then it gives us the right kind of energy which is required to remain well. So I would tell all youth who are part of this or who are listening to this to eat well, and especially to the youth, because at this age of life you may not be at homes, you may be anywhere in the world, mothers may not be behind you to say eat in time, eat well, you must take milk, you must take fruit, you must take vegetables, so all kinds of good food you must take, then your body becomes healthy. And in India, in our culture, in our literature, we believe that body is the first requirement even to perform your dharma or go to the other duties that are part of your life. So your shariram khalu dharma sadhanam, this body is basically the means to performing your duty or performing dharma also. Second is, now you can't only live in this body, you can't live physically only. The mind is as important, जिसको हम मन बोलते हैं. So manomai kosh is the second kosh. You first take care of your body, but then you must also take control of your mind. Mind runs very fast, and it's very difficult to keep it under any kind of discipline. But as a youth, as an educated youth, as a responsible youth, it's your duty to keep your mind under control, to keep, because indriya, we have to control our indriyas, which run up, they can run havoc if you do not control them. So keeping your mind under control, that is on the right path, on the right way. There can be hundreds of distractions. Your mind can run around. Even now, if you're listening to me, your mind may be here or there, but keep it focused, keep it on the right path, keep it on righteous path, and keep it on the way or the aim that you have made for yourself. If you can really control or restrain or constrain your mind, you become a balanced person. So, Tanomai Kosh, Annamai Kosh, or Manomai Kosh, the two of them take care of your body and mind. Now, body and mind, of course, make an entire human being, but there are many more things also which a human being inculcates, a human being learns. And to be healthy, you need something more. The third is the pranamaya kosh, where you start taking charge of your breathing. Just now you had meditation, and meditation, in fact, tells you how to focus your mind and how to regulate your breathing. So, pranamaya kosh is when you regulate your breathing, you balance in and out, how much you breathe in, how much you breathe out. Same way, how much you think, how much you read, how much you take within, and how much of that you in fact turn into jnana, medha. These all come later. First, it's the information. So, how much information you take in. Pranayam gives you one way of controlling your breathing or living. So that breathing is important. Pranamaya kosh, if you control your breathing, if you control your pranavayu, if you control your mind, if you control your body, then you are ready to become the knowledgeable person. So fourth is the jnanamaya kosh. And jnana is not alone. Knowledge is not alone. It comes with science, jnana vijnanamaya kosh, because in Indian ethos or Indian civilization, they are not separate. You inform, you inculcate, then you practice. And what you confirm by practice becomes Vigyan. So Jnanamaya Kosh. And fourth, if you have all this, let me assure you, and our culture says it, you can really reach the stage of pleasure, ananda. Although pleasure also doesn't convey that word, but ananda. And ananda here is sat chitta ananda, where you have truth also, where you have your heart also, and where you can really feel the pleasure of all that you have gained till now. So, Tanmaya tan Annamay Kosh, Manomay Kosh, Pranamay Kosh, Jnanamay Kosh, or Antatah, or in the end, Anandamay Kosh. If you have all these in balance, I'm sure there'll be a smile on your face. What Sister Sayukta was telling us in meditation, you will feel the peace within and you will be the best outside. So, young ones, to harness your power, to awaken your consciousness, to feel the pleasure of being what Indian tradition tells you, you can really move in that direction. And I will tell you 4 sentences which really give power to an individual, and I wish our youth are able to understand that. These 4 words are Pragyanam Brahma, because you are students, you are learning, you are learners, you are getting information, you are culturing that information, you are nurturing that information, and it becomes knowledge. We are living in knowledge society, and knowledge is very important in this stage. But mind it, years and centuries before, Indian sages had recognized that jnana is Brahma. ज्ञान ही ईश्वर है, प्रज्ञानम ब्रह्म, अयम आत्मा ब्रह्म, और वह ही ईश्वर है, यह भी ईश्वर है, I am too. मैं भी ईश्वर हूं, अहम ब्रह्म अस्मि. Only Indian civilization tells you that. So, dear young sisters and brothers, understand there is a God within you also. You may go to temple to search God, meet God, pray to God, but the God is within as well. So, aham brahma asmi, मैं ही ईश्वर हूं, तत् त्वम asi. दूसरे में भी वही देखिए, you too are God. The moment you realize this, that you are God and the other person is also God, you become sisters and brothers naturally. It's such a relationship, and if that relationship exists, you cannot but be at peace. And lastly, sarvam khalu idam brahmam. This all is Brahma. So if God is all around, if God is within me and within you, if God is you and God is me, if God is the entire universe, where is the point of fight? Where is the point of competition? Where is the point of conflict? Where is the point of rivalry? And where is the point of war? The moment we realize, we stop having these very negative feelings around us. And that is how I can say with a lot of pride, India never invaded any country. India never attacked any country. We've been great empire, we've been great civilization, we've been great country, we've been great culture, but we never imposed it on others. So because we believe that Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinaha, let all be happy. Sarve Santu Niramayaha, let all be disease free. Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu, let everyone see good, see well. Na Kaschit Dukh Bhag Bhavet or Ma Kaschit. Nobody should be sad, nobody should be unwell. The culture which preaches this, the culture which teaches this, the culture which practices this has to be the culture of the youth of 21st century, and therefore Indian youth has a special duty to take this message around, and the United Consciousness has organized this event on a great day, which is International Day of Peace, especially when we are living in the shadow of wars, in the shadow of smaller wars which are happening, and the bigger wars which may be looming large. This initiative becomes important, and I will invoke my youth, younger brothers and sisters, my students, my scholars, and young teachers. Please spread this message. First, be at peace with yourself. Only then you can nurture peace in others, and then we can tell the world, now we are not alone. Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, what our Honorable Prime Minister told in G20, we do not have to count, this is mine, this is yours, I am Nijaha Paroveti. But we have to be large-hearted And when we become large-hearted, the entire universe is our family. Therefore, we pray for peace in the trees, peace in the water, peace around us, peace in the air, and peace in us also. Sarvam idam. So Shanti within, Shanti around, and Shanti beyond. Peace beyond us also. Then only we can establish peace. I would like to thank Professor Dr. Vikrant Tomar for giving me this opportunity, and the United Consciousness family for giving me this opportunity. It's a real pleasure. I wish this initiative gets completely successful and we can see a world which is full of love and peace. Om
Thank you
Shanti.
very much, Madam. It is indeed a pleasure having a closing speech from you. How you invoked all five koshas within us, and then you called upon you to go beyond those five koshas to the absolute reality, Prajnanam Brahman. I am Atma Brahma, Tat Tvamasi, Sarvam Khalvidam Brahma. I think this is a message you would like to disseminate in different parts of the world. Thank you very much for being here and blessing us with your presence.
Thank you.
On behalf of United Consciousness, I thank Professor Shushma Yadav for coming onto the platform of United Consciousness. Thank you so much.
सर्वे भवन्तु सुखिनः सर्वे सन्तु निरामयाः सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु मा कश्चित् दुःखभाग् भवेत्।
This shloka means, may everyone be happy, may everyone be free from all diseases, may everyone see goodness and auspiciousness in everything, may none be unhappy or distressed. Om Shantihi, Shantihi, Shantihi. I am highly privileged to have this opportunity to present my gratitude to all those who have witnessed and blessed this event directly or indirectly. I believe that this is not the end, but the beginning of our journeys. The journeys towards the noble cause of removing the 14 divides rooted in human race and promoting harmonious and peaceful coexistence. Firstly, I thank the God for blessing us all. I extend my heartfelt gratitude to Mr. Rajesh Rabindranath of Project Self USA, Yogi Baba Adnan and Madam Kubuk of Siddha Ashram Yoga Center, Mr. Andre Reel of Nidra Yoga, Swami Suryananda Saraswati of European Yoga Federation, Mr. Sukhdev Volker-Bretz of Yoga Vidya, Mr. Valdemar Parado of Yoga Yogeshmo, Ms. Patricia Wegle of AAYT, Ms. Amy Blessio of CUIDY, Ms. Valentina Cortene of African Spiritual Council, Mr. Andre Lebanau of Yoga Lam, Mr. Josh Pryor of Yoga Australia, and Mr. Jose Druge of the for your invaluable contribution and support. I'm also very thankful to Dr. Vikrant Singh Tomar of United Consciousness for hosting such a beautiful program. I also thank Team United Consciousness for their valuable contributions to such a beautiful program.